carry it all. Still. Not just the armor, not just the chains. You carry the collapse of hope, the memory of screams you couldn't silence, the hands you couldn't save. Every moment you live beneath this shell, you drag behind you the ghosts of what was, and what might have been. The galaxy may see only a weapon now, a cold, towering figure of power and wrath. But I see the boy who fixed broken droids with gentleness, who lit up when he raced, who dreamed of freeing everyone. That boy didn't vanish. He was crushed, bent, and then buried under flame and fear. But he's still there, Anakin. Beneath the ruin. Beneath this.
I wasn't sure you were real. Not anymore. I've seen ghosts, faces I buried, voices I denied. But yours was always different. I remember your face from a time before everything went dark. You stood in the light, so firm in your convictions. Now you stand before me again, as if you've come to weigh what's left of me. You won't find anything worth saving.
I watched you from beyond the veil, as one bound to the living force, helpless. I saw a frightened child, dragged into a temple of solemn faces and colder hearts. You had questions bursting from your soul, and they answered with silence or sermons. They mistook fear for defiance, emotion for weakness. I see now that the Jedi believed that distance meant wisdom, that cutting oneself off from attachment meant clarity. But what you needed, what any child needs, was not a code. It was love. Someone to listen, to help you untangle what you felt without shame. The Force led me to you, and yet I vanished before I could truly help. And so you were left with teachers who never really saw you.
They failed me, yes, over and over in ways that words can't capture. But I stopped counting their failures the moment I realized my own had far outgrown them. There's nothing left of the Jedi in me, no trace of the boy they tried to mold, or the man they hoped would bring balance. I killed him, piece by piece, with every decision I made to hold on to something, and every moment I lost what I was trying to protect. I gave everything to stop the pain, and all I became was its vessel.
They failed you, yes, but I must say it again. So did I. And my failure was not born from malice, but from faith. Faith that they would understand you better than I could. Faith that the Jedi would raise you wisely. I was wrong. I should have fought harder. I should have stayed in the physical world, defied death as I now defy time. I should have taken you away from the Order, if that's what it would have taken. I should have walked beside you every step, not just as a teacher, but as someone who knew the burden of being chosen by the Force and never asked for it. I should have seen that your strength wasn't just in your gifts. It was in your love, your fire, your refusal to let go of the people you cared about. And I should have told you that love was not a weakness.
You speak of staying longer, fighting harder, but you weren't there when I begged them to listen, when I screamed without raising my voice, when I obeyed and still felt empty. They didn't see me, not as I was, only as what I might become, a tool, a symbol. I was never allowed to just be Anakin, not a son, not a boy, not a man who loved too deeply. I kept waiting for someone to tell me it was okay, to feel, to fear, to want, but all I got was silence, cold silence, until he spoke, until Sidious whispered the things I needed to hear, and by the time I understood what he was, I had already given him everything.
The Force teaches many things: connection, instinct, balance. but it does not prepare you for the unbearable weight of grief. It does not tell you how to go on when the person you love dies, screaming in your arms. It does not protect you from the dark whisper that offers control when you feel powerless. You needed someone to kneel beside you in the sand when your mother died. Someone who would say, "You are allowed to feel this. You are allowed to mourn." Not a council that quoted detachment. Not a master who looked away. I abandoned you to a galaxy of rules when what you needed was refuge. And so the cracks began. Quietly, irreversibly.
You say I needed someone to stop me, someone to listen. Do you think I didn't cry for help? I did, just not in words they could hear. I walked into fire thinking I could rewrite fate with power. I looked into Padme's eyes and thought if I was strong enough, I could keep her safe forever. I wasn't trying to conquer. I was trying to hold on to the only person who ever saw me. And in trying to save her, I destroyed her. I destroyed everything.
Even now, even after all you've done, the worlds you've shattered, the lives you've ended, the name you destroyed, I see it. A flicker, an ember, the kind that refuses to die no matter how long it's been buried in ash. You can cover it with armor. Call yourself anything you want. Darth Vader, Enforcer, Monster. But the Force still remembers Anakin Skywalker. That name pulses in its current like a song half forgotten. And she remembered it too. Padme. With her last breath, she whispered it in faith. Not because she was naive, but because she knew what lived inside you, even as the fire consumed her. She believed in you, Anakin. She believed in the part of you tried hardest to kill. And belief like that, it doesn't vanish. It waits.
I don't want your forgiveness, because I couldn't accept it, even if you gave it. What good is redemption to a man who built his entire existence on a lie? What do I do with mercy now, when my hands are soaked in blood I can never wash away? I used to think hate would keep me going, that if I kept moving forward, I wouldn't have to look back. But I never stopped looking back. Even now, even here, I still see her. I still hear my name in her voice, not Vader. Anakin. And it hurts. It never stopped hurting.
I'm not here to absolve you. I'm not here to drag you back. I'm here to tell you that the darkness around you, thick as it is, ancient and earned, is not absolute. Nothing in the Force ever is. There is no prophecy, no destiny carved in stone, only the will to choose. You have chosen pain again and again because it makes you feel in control. But control is not peace. Power is not healing. And rage is not clarity. Even now, after everything, the Force offers you a thread of light. Not to return to who you were, but to become what you still might be, if you would only reach for it.
I killed her. I killed the one thing that tethered me to the light. And now all I have is silence. The silence of this armor. The silence of my soul. Every step I take is an echo of a choice I can't undo. Every breath I take is borrowed from the man I was. And he would be horrified at what I've become. You say there is something left in me, that the Force still sees it, that she believed. But belief does not raise the dead. Belief does not undo the screams or silence the memories. I am what the galaxy made me, what I made me, a blade forged in fire, wielded by fear, and yet, if the Force still sees something in me, then it sees something I no longer recognize, something I buried long ago under rage and war and the silence of 10,000 tombs. Maybe there is a thread, maybe. but I am afraid of what might happen if I pull on it.
You're not supposed to be here. I watched you fade. I felt your presence slip away like the last warmth from a dying fire. I told myself it was over, that your story had ended and mine had only just begun, that I could move forward without the weight of you following every step. But here you are, and I don't know what it means or what it asks of me.
I was never meant to return. Not as a Jedi, not as a father, not even as a whisper in the wind. My time was spent, my path scorched. And yet I find myself drawn here, not by power, not by destiny, but by something more stubborn and eternal. Unfinished love. You are not finished, Luke. Not in your path, not in your heart. And neither am I, because the shadows we cast do not vanish with the light. They cling, they coil in silence, waiting for a weak moment, and I have learned the shadow does not die when the man does.
You were freed. I saw it in your eyes. For the first time, they weren't filled with rage or sorrow or silence. Just peace, stillness. I thought that was your end, that you'd earned it finally, after everything. You looked like someone who had come home after a long, painful war. I didn't think I'd see you again, not like this.
What you saw in my last breath was not peace. It was relief, the sigh of a soul freed from a prison it forged with its own hands. But freedom does not undo the pain. Release is not rest. My spirit walked still because what I did, the lives I took, the bonds I severed, those things do not fade with death. I may be gone, but the darkness I wore, the darkness you carry, it walks with you, Luke, as surely as it walked with me.
I don't want to become what you were. Not the mask, not the fear, not the judgment, the silence, the way people flinched before they even saw your face. I don't want to be the man who thinks power is protection, who forgets how to love because he's too busy trying to control. I'm scared of what's in me, of what I might do if I think it's the only way.
Then listen to me now, while your ears are still open, while your heart still questions, because the moments where you doubt yourself, when you hesitate and wonder if you're already lost, those are the cracks the dark side seeks. It needs only a whisper, only once.
I already feel it. There's this shadow that moves when I hesitate, when I close my eyes. It's there when I think about what I have to protect and what I might lose. Sometimes it whispers to me, just barely. And other times, it roars. It shows me futures that haven't happened. People I've failed. Pain that hasn't come yet. And it asks, wouldn't it be easier to stop it before it starts? That's what scares me most. How tempting it is.
The dark side never demands everything at once. No, it is patient. It flatters first. It tells you your pain is purpose. that your scars are proof you were meant to lead, to reshape, to control. It comforts you in moments of helplessness and promises no one will suffer again if only you choose to act. But what it gives you is always laced with venom. It empowers you until the moment it owns you, and by the time you question it, you've already become its voice.
Ben, you've seen him, haven't you? Felt him through the Force. He's not even born yet, but I already love him. I already worry about him. And I don't even know who he'll become. I can feel something swirling around his future, something vast and unstable. He'll be more powerful than I can understand. And I'm terrified that I'll be the one who turns that power into pain.
That you feel its pull, that you sense the shadow moving at the edges of your dreams. This does not make you weak. It makes you human. It means you love. But beware, Luke. Those you love are the very path through which the darkness reaches, and the ones who carry your name, your legacy, they will feel that pull too, because your shadow does not stop with you.
Then what do I do? How do I fight something I can't see? How do I stop a fall before there's even a ledge? I don't want to control him. I just want to guide him. But the more I try to imagine the right path, the more I realize I don't know where it leads. Am I already starting to become what I fear, just by trying so hard not to let it happen?
There is a child, not yet born, but he will bear the name you carry forward. He will be yours, in blood and soul, though the galaxy will not see it at first. His name will be Ben, and the force around him will be wild and tangled, like a star caught between birth and collapse. He will burn with potential and with danger.
You wanted me to save you, and I did, at the very end. But it wasn't with a weapon. It wasn't in battle. It was when I saw you, truly saw you. Not as Darth Vader, not as the enemy, but as my father. But Ben won't want saving, not if he doesn't know he's lost. So how do I save someone who may never ask for help, who may run from it?
Ben will be powerful, so much so that it will frighten you. His heart will shine with a rare light, but deep within something older will stir, a shadow born not from evil but from yearning. He will crave purpose, belonging. He will seek to mend the wounds he cannot name, and fear will find its way through that hope. Your fear.
Are you proud of me? I know it's selfish to ask, but I wonder all the time. Not just about what I've done, but about what I haven't. Did I become the Jedi you hoped I would? Or did I just repeat the mistakes in softer colors? I chose peace over anger, mercy over vengeance. But sometimes I wonder, was that enough? Am I enough?
You will try to guide him, you will try to protect him, but in doing so, you will come close to the very fire that consumed me. You will act in the name of peace, but part of you will act in fear, and fear corrupts even the noblest of intentions, especially when it hides behind the mask of love.
Then tell me what to do, because I'm lost. I can feel the weight building, the legacy, the choices no one else will make. Everyone looks to me like I have answers, like I'm some final hope. But I don't have a map, just a flame in the dark and the memory of you, the man you were, and the one you became. I need more than your past. I need your guidance now.
You cannot stop the future, Luke. You cannot seal the doors of fate, but you can keep the light alive, even in the ruins. And when that light flickers, when you feel it fading, your duty is not to shield it from wind and flame, but to hold it steady, not as a master, but as a witness.
Wait, Father, don't go. There's still so much I don't understand. So much I wanted to say. I never really got to know you, not when it mattered. And now that I finally can, you're fading again. I can feel it. Please, stay just a little longer. Help me carry this. Help me not become what I fear. I don't want to walk this path alone.
Don't let your dread of what Ben might become be the spark that turns possibility into prophecy. He must be allowed to choose, even if his path breaks your heart, even if it leads through shadow. That choice must be his. It is the only path to redemption, the only path that ever was. You don't save someone by controlling them. You save them by believing there's something left to save. By seeing them, not as what they are in the moment, but as what they could still become. That's what saved me. Not your sword, not your strength, but the fact that in my final hour, when all the galaxy saw a monster, you saw your father. I am proud of you, not just because you stood against me, not because you won, but because you looked into the fire and chose not to become it. You made the harder choice, the one I could not make, and yet I worry for you, because you have inherited not just my name, but my burden, and that weight is heavier than it first seems. You are a Skywalker. You carry our name like a torch in the dark, but remember, fire is not loyal. It can warm or destroy. It does not choose. It consumes. Be more than I was, where I clutched control, offer trust, where I reached for fear, reach for hope, where I silenced love, speak it, because one day someone will stand before you as you now stand before me, and your choice will shape not just them, but all that comes after. And when that moment comes, and it will, choose compassion, choose mercy, even if it costs you everything, even if you must fall alone to keep them from falling with you. I will always be with you, Luke, in memory, in shadow, in blood. But what happens next is not mine. It is yours now.
Maul, I see you, not as the galaxy has chosen to remember you, not as the weapon they forged, nor the shadow you've worn. I see you as you were, as you could still be. The Force has not forgotten your name, and neither have I.
That name is death. It's a curse shaped in fire, whispered in pain. It's the sound of chains tightening and blood cooling. You speak it with a Jedi's calm, but you don't know what it became in my mouth. That name was torn from me 1,000 times before I gave it teeth.
It still matters, Maul. Even now, with time scorched and memory twisted, it matters. Beneath the torment and the layers of rage you've built to keep the galaxy out, something still stirs when it hears that name. It is not your prison. It's a thread back to something real.
You dare come here to this cursed place with your calm and your quiet eyes. After Naboo, after you bled out in silence while I burned with purpose, you think your death made me a monster? Number. It only gave the monster permission. I was born in a cage, Jedi. I became your nightmare because no one cared to stop me in time.
I did not come to punish you, Maul, nor to cast judgment from the light. I came to ask a single question that no one ever truly asked you. Not Sidious, not Kenobi, not even your own lost soul. Are you done suffering? Not fighting, suffering, because I can feel it still burning through every breath you take.
Suffering. I do not suffer. I endure. I survived what your precious Jedi Order turned their backs on. I was cast aside, broken, buried, and I rose again and again. Not for peace, not for healing. I rose to carve my name into the bones of this galaxy, to make it remember the pain it gave me, and I will never stop until it screams.
And yet, for all your rage, for all the vengeance you've painted across the stars, what has it left you with? A kingdom of fire, a legacy of shadows. The Sith used you and discarded you like a tool gone dull. The Jedi refused to see you at all. You've shouted across the void for decades, trying to be more than forgotten. And yet here you are, in the silence, waiting. Alone.
Alone is the only truth that never lied to me. It's the one companion that never left. When my brothers died, when my plans crumbled, when every purpose I built burned away, only the silence stayed, and the silence told the truth.
But silence is not peace, and isolation is not strength. You were made to walk in fire, yes, but not to become it. There is still another path, Maul, one where you do not have to be the sum of your fury.
What do you want from me, Jedi? Penance? Forgiveness? I have killed 100 of your kind. I hunted Kenobi across the stars. I wore the title of Sith like a crown. What could you possibly want from the wreckage that I am?
I want nothing from you, Maul. I am not here to take. The Force doesn't want your guilt, your blood, or your penance. It wants balance, and I believe you may still help restore it. The rebellion needs warriors who remember what freedom is. They don't need saints. They need souls who've seen the darkness and still choose the light. You were made into a weapon. Let yourself become something more.
You believe the rebellion would accept me? A phantom stitched together by rage, the discarded relic of a war no one even remembers. They'd shoot me on sight, and they'd be right to.
And yet, they've welcomed former agents of the Empire. They've sheltered those once lost to slavery, to corruption, to darkness, because they understand something the Jedi never truly taught, that redemption isn't earned through denial, but through purpose, through standing, even when it's easier to fall. And Maul, you still have the strength to stand.
Hope.
was always the most seductive lie of them all. It promises, and it vanishes. It's a phantom, just like you.
And so is your hatred. The difference is, hope invites you forward. Hatred locks the doors behind you. You were taught pain was power, but it never was. Pain was the cage, the illusion, the thing they gave you so you wouldn't see the door standing open.
I remember the boy I was, before the saber, before the chains. He was cold, starving, terrified. He wanted to matter. And then I killed you. And I believed that made me strong.
You ended my life, but you did not end my belief in you. That child, the one who wanted to be seen, to be heard. He is still buried under all the noise, and if you let yourself feel, even now, you'll hear him calling. I forgive you, Maul, not because I must, but because I can.
No one's ever said that to me.
Then let this moment be the beginning, not the ending. There is still a thread left to follow. Let this be the first step on a path only you can walk.
I don't know how to stop. All I've ever known is how to fight, how to burn, how to destroy. Peace is foreign to me.
Then don't seek peace. Seek purpose. Let your blade serve something greater. The rebellion doesn't need a perfect soldier. It needs someone who knows how to endure. Someone who remembers what pain costs. Let that pain become a shield, not a sword. Fight for the children who still dream. Fight for the light you were never given.
Do you think Kenobi ever forgave me?
In his own quiet way, he did. He carried the weight of you longer than anyone, not because he hated you, but because he mourned what was lost. He saw your fall, but he also saw the child who never had a choice. And that is not hate. That is sorrow. That is love, buried under ruin.
The fire, it's quieter now, for the first time in years.
Then step out of it, Maul. Let the rage go. Let it cool. You were not born to burn. You were born to rise.
You're real. You're really here. I've heard stories. I've read the ancient texts. I never thought I'd actually see you. Not after everything. Not after what I've done. I didn't think I deserved this. Not anymore.
Yes, I am real, Luke. As real as the force that binds us. As real as your grief. I've come because the force called me. Because in this moment, when you feel furthest from the light, it still reaches for you. You must understand. I have waited a long time to speak to you. Not just as a Jedi of old, but as someone who once believed in the impossible and watched it slip away.
I've heard enough ghosts, Qui-Gon. Too many. Yoda came to me. Obi-Wan, too. Even my father, after he died. They all told me the same thing. Rebuild. Restore what was lost. Carry the light forward. I tried, Master Jin. I truly did. I gave everything I had to that hope. And I still lost him.
I know the weight you carry. I've seen its echo in generations before you. The burden of legacy, of a name, of hope, placed too early on shoulders still growing. The galaxy has done this to you, Luke, just as it did to others before you. They asked you to become a symbol, when what you needed most was time to become a person.
You didn't see it. You weren't there. You didn't feel the way the light shattered when Ben turned. I trained him. I believed in him. He was our future. He had so much strength. Too much, maybe. And when he fell, it wasn't just the temple that burned. It was me. Everything I stood for. Everything I believed I could protect. It all crumbled.
You are not alone in your failure. I too believed I could save a soul that was slipping through my fingers. I believed in your father when no one else did. And though he fell, though he became something twisted and terrible, my faith in him never truly died. That faith may not have saved him then, but it helped light the way for what came after. You, Luke. You were that light.
Yes. I blame myself. I should have seen it coming. I should have stopped it. I should have reached him before the darkness did. But I was blind. I thought I could save him just by being right. By being a Skywalker. That was arrogance. And the cost was everything.
Ben's fall is not the end of your story. It is not the final chapter of your legacy. You see it as proof that you were wrong. But sometimes, even the greatest teachers cannot protect their students from the choices they must make. We are not here to mold their paths with our hands, only to walk beside them until they can find their own footing.
I don't know what else I could have done. Maybe I was never meant to rebuild the Jedi. Maybe I was supposed to walk away. Let the old ways die with me. Let the Force choose someone new. Someone better.
You say you failed him. Perhaps you did. But love without failure is not love. It is control. What you gave Ben was belief. What he chose with it, that was his own burden. You cannot carry the guilt for what he became without also honoring the love that once passed between you. That too is part of the truth.
I tried to carry on. I did. But the Jedi, what they were, what they thought they were, it was broken. The war broke them. The fear broke them. And maybe I inherited all of that. I took on a legacy that was already too heavy, too fragile.
The Force does not judge you for Ben's actions, Luke. It weeps with you. It mourns him, as it once mourned your father. But even in grief, it offers a path forward. That is why I am here. Not to tell you that you were wrong, but to remind you that you are not finished. The light is not through with you yet.
Ben deserved more than I gave him. He needed guidance, not judgment. He needed trust, not pressure. I see that now, but it's too late to fix it. He's gone. And every time I close my eyes, I see his face. Not as Kylo Ren, but as a boy, laughing, asking me about the Force, hungry to understand. I see the child I failed to protect.
You speak of Rey with fear. I understand. The fear of seeing the same story repeat itself. But listen to me closely, Luke. Rey is not Ben. She is not you. She is not us. She is herself. She does not need your perfection. She needs your guidance. She needs your faith. Not in the Jedi Order as it once was, but in the Jedi as it might be, through her.
There's still a part of him in there. I know it. But I also know the damage he's done. The people he's hurt. I don't know if that kind of pain can be undone. I don't know if that kind of fall has a way back.
The Jedi Order fell, not just because of the Sith, but because we forgot how to listen. We clung to rules, to dogma, and ignored the very voices the Force was trying to raise up. Rey may break old traditions. She may question you, challenge you, but in that, she will save what the Jedi once stood for. Not by becoming us, but by becoming more.
And Rey, she's not ready. She's powerful, yes. Brighter in the Force than anyone I've ever seen. But she doesn't understand what it costs. What the darkness takes. I don't want her to carry this weight. I don't want her to make the mistakes I made.
There is fear in your heart, Luke. I feel it as clearly as the wind. But fear does not mean failure. You forget. Even Master Yoda feared the dark. Even Obi-Wan doubted Anakin. I carried the weight of knowing I would never see what would become of my student. I feared I had left him unready. But you must remember, fear is not the end. It is the beginning of choice.
But I don't know how to guide her. Not anymore. I don't trust myself. Not after Ben. Not after the temple. Every time I try to speak, I hear the silence of those who didn't survive. I see the fire, the ruin. I don't want to bring that on her.
Ben still lives. And where there is life, there's a chance for return. He carries pain, yes. But within pain lies the path to truth. And no one is ever beyond the light. Not truly. Not your father. Not Ben. Not even you.
So what am I supposed to do? Just stand by? Watch the galaxy tear itself apart again? Hope that she figures it out on her own? She's strong, yes. But she's alone. And I swore I would never let that happen again.
Let Rey forge her own path. Let her rise from your teachings, and then let her outgrow them. That is what students are meant to do. And if she stumbles, do not hide from her. Walk beside her. She does not need a legend, Luke. She needs you.
But she's not my burden, is she? She's my hope. I see it now. That spark I once carried. She holds it. Maybe brighter. Maybe clearer. I need to believe in her. The way others believed in me.
The galaxy is not asking you to save it again, only to help those who will. That is what we are now. Voices on the wind. Echoes of the past offering a hand to the future. That is enough. You are enough.
Do you really think she can do what I couldn't? That she can succeed where I failed? That she can heal what I shattered?
You wonder if Rey can succeed where you failed. The answer is not found in your guilt. It's found in your hope. If you believe in her, not as your heir, not as a Skywalker, but as herself, then yes, she can, and she will.
Then maybe I haven't reached the end of my story after all. Maybe I've just been standing at the wrong chapter, waiting to turn the page.
This moment is not your ending. It is your reckoning. You can stay here, broken by your fear. Or you can rise, not to be the Jedi of old, but to become what the Jedi were always meant to be.
Thank you, Master Qui-Gon. I needed to hear that. I don't know what comes next. But maybe I'm ready to face it.
I believe in you, Luke. I never stopped. And I believe in her. As you once believed in your father, now it's your.
Who's there? Who are you? I felt something. Not cold, but ancient, like a memory trying to reach through a storm. You're not just a presence. You're someone. I can feel that. I can hear the force in your voice.
You do not know me, Senator Organa, but I know you. I knew your mother, Padme Amidala. I sat in the council chamber while your father burned. And though decades have passed, I have watched in silence as the echoes of that war reach forward into the future, into you. The Force does not forget its threads, and neither do I.
You're a Jedi, aren't you? I've seen your face in the archives back on Alderaan. My father used to speak your name in whispers, Mace Windu. You were on the council, one of the last before it all collapsed. I thought you were gone, like all the others.
Once, a long time ago, when we still believed the Republic could stand, when we thought the Force was balanced, that the Jedi were protectors, not pawns. But we were wrong, blinded by protocol. We ignored the storm rising within our own ranks, and by the time we acted, it was already too late.
Why are you here? Why now? Why me? The war is over. We've already lost so much. I've lost so much. And Luke, he's finally free of the fight. We all are, aren't we?
Because the past never truly stays buried. The Force trembles, Leia. It ripples when futures begin to bend. Your brother walks a road I have seen before. I've walked beside another like him. Powerful, passionate, filled with fire and faith. And I watched him fall so hard, the galaxy broke in his wake. I have come because I fear history is repeating itself.
Luke, Number, you're wrong. He's not like that. He's stronger than any of us knew. He destroyed the Emperor. He brought our father, Anakin, back from the edge. He gave him peace. He gave the whole galaxy hope again. He saved us, all of us.
He is strong. He has done what few ever have. But the line between savior and destroyer is thinner than most believe, especially in your bloodline. The same courage that brought back your father could one day mirror the same pride that broke him. And power, true power, never fades quietly.
What are you saying? You're speaking in riddles, and I don't like what you're implying. If you know something, if you've seen something, then say it. Don't hide behind cryptic warnings, not when it's about him.
Power does not rest. It lies dormant, like a fire beneath the ash, waiting for breath to fan it back into flame. Luke has inherited more than legacy. He has inherited weight. The Force sings in his blood, loud and unpredictable. I've seen what that kind of pressure can do to a Jedi, especially when they believe they must carry it alone.
He's not like our father. He's not lost. He's not driven by fear or ambition. He's gentle, thoughtful, maybe too much so. But there's light in him, so much light. He sees people. He listens. He feels.
In times of peace, even Jedi forget humility. They mistake compassion for clarity, instinct for wisdom. I saw this in Anakin. I begged the council to act, but they waited. They hoped. And by the time we understood the danger, he had already become something else. I see shadows of that same storm in Luke.
He has me. He has our friends. He has people who believe in him. He's not alone. Not like Father was. We won't let him fall into that silence again. We won't lose him. Not after everything we fought through.
He is, and he isn't. Just as Anakin once swore he would never fall. The qualities that made your father so noble, his empathy, his fearlessness, his need to save everyone, were the very things the dark side used to unravel him. I do not say this to condemn Luke. I say it because only someone who loves him can stop what I fear is already beginning.
Then we'll be there. We'll be the fire break. If it ever starts to slip, if the shadows start to gather again, we'll catch him. We'll pull him back. Just like he reached back for Father, I will reach for him. I promise you that.
Yes, but for how long? He will teach others, train the next generation. If even a fragment of doubt slips into his teachings, if fear seeps into his soul, then what rises after him will not be the future you fought for. It will be something else, something worse.
What choice? What kind of question is that? This is my brother. He is not some ticking weapon, some prophecy waiting to collapse. He's a man, a good one. He deserves more than doubt, more than suspicion. He deserves faith.
And he will resist you, not out of malice, but out of belief. He will think he's doing what must be done. He will think he's stronger than what hunts him. But I have seen what happens when strength becomes pride, and pride becomes silence. The next time he falters, you may not be able to reach him.
That's not fair. That's not how we honor what he's done. He gave up everything. He sacrificed for this peace. He chose to return to the light when no one else could. And you want me to prepare for the day I have to choose between him and everything else? That's not a future I'm willing to accept.
The choice no one ever wants to make. The one that breaks hearts and friendships and families. To love him or to stop him. When it comes, you will want to see the brother you remember. But the Force may show you something else. And then you will have to decide.
Then help us. Don't vanish into the Force with regrets. Don't show me visions and warnings unless you're willing to stand beside us. If you really believe this path is dangerous, then light it better. Don't just leave us in the dark and hope we find our way out.
You're right. He does deserve better. But fate doesn't care about what we deserve. And love alone doesn't rewrite destiny. If it did, Anakin would have lived to see you grow up. He would have watched Luke become a Jedi. But he didn't, because we trusted him too long and acted too late.
Then I'll stand between him and that fall. I'll carry the weight if I have to. I've done it before. For Alderaan, for the rebellion, for the Republic. And I'll do it again. I won't let the darkness take my brother. Not while I'm still breathing. Not while I still believe in him.
I can't. I wish I could. But I'm not what I was. I'm a remnant. A fracture of what once stood in defiance of the dark. I cannot stop what is coming. I can only speak to those who still can. And so, I speak to you.
Wait, don't go. Not yet. There's more I need to know. There's more you could teach me. Don't just leave me with this burden. Please, tell me what I can do.
Then let that be your strength. Let your love be your weapon. But don't let it blind you. Walk beside him. Speak to him. But if he walks into the fire, be ready to pull him out or stand between him and the galaxy. You must be strong enough for both of you.
Then I'll feel it. And if that day ever comes, I will not hesitate. I will not let him face it alone. Not this time. Not ever again.
Then let the Force carry you when you cannot. Let it guide you, even when the light feels dim. Because there may come a day when your belief is all that stands between your brother and the darkness. If I return, it will be because the future I fear has become the present. And if that happens, you will not need to see me to know I am near. You will feel it in the cold of the stars, in the way the Force stops whispering, in the silence before the storm.
You always disappear when you don't want to answer a question. It's just like you to vanish into silence and call it searching. But I know that silence too, Luke. I've lived in it since the day our parents died, since Alderaan fell, since you told me the truth about Vader. The galaxy doesn't get quiet because it's safe. It gets quiet before a storm. So whatever it is, the Force is whispering to you. Don't pretend it's nothing.
I don't disappear, Leia. I just need space sometimes. Quiet. The galaxy has been screaming for so long, through war and pain and loss. And now that the screaming stopped, there's still this ringing in the Force. It's like it's trying to speak again. Like it's been holding its breath, waiting for someone to listen. And I don't know what it's trying to say yet, but I want to know. I have to.
That storm you feel, I feel it too. I don't have your strength, not in the way you do, but it's there in me, Luke, whether I want it or not. And something's coming. It's like the Force is holding its breath, and the second we let our guard down, something old, something dark, will find us again. We can't just wait for it to arrive. We need to prepare for what it brings.
It says, not everything is as it seems. That peace is never the end of the path, just a pause before the next step. That shadows don't die, they retreat. I feel something, Leia. A disturbance that hasn't passed. The Empire's fall wasn't the end. The Force, it's warning me. Something's coming, and it's going to test all of us.
He came to me in the middle of the night, Luke. Not a vision, not a dream. Him, Mace Windu, a Jedi from before the fall. His presence felt like the cold edge of judgment. He didn't come to threaten me or to hurt me. He came to warn me about you, about the path you're starting to walk.
Mace Windu, I read about him. He was one of the most powerful Jedi in the archives. If he came to you, it must have been serious. The Force doesn't send its dead lightly. What did he say? What did he see?
He said you're too much like our father, that you carry his strength and his shadow, that if you're not careful, it could consume you like it did him. I didn't want to believe it. I still don't. But the fear I saw in Windu's eyes. Jedi don't fear easily, Luke.
Of me? He's afraid of me? Why? Because of who our father was? Because of the blood in my veins? I'm not the same man Anakin was. I didn't fall. I chose to stand. I reached for the light.
I know. You're not him. You saved him. You pulled him back from a place no one thought was possible. And I will never forget what that meant. For me. For him. But that doesn't mean the darkness is gone. It doesn't mean the story ends with you standing in the light forever.
But he did. I brought him back. I looked into the eyes of Darth Vader and found the man behind the mask. That matters, Leia. If he could come back from that darkness, then surely I can walk forward without ever touching it.
No one's asking you to stop being strong. But don't carry it alone. Don't think that because you saved Father once, it makes you invincible to everything that broke him. That kind of pressure, it can twist even the brightest heart. You need us, Luke. You need me.
No one truly knows me, Leia. Not even Mace Windu. But I know what I carry inside. I've touched the fire and not been consumed by it. I've stood in the shadow of the Emperor and felt the dark side reach for me, and I turned away. That should mean something.
I'm not afraid of the Force inside you. I'm afraid of what happens if you stop trusting the people who love you. Of what happens when your pride makes you blind. You think the Jedi fell because they weren't powerful enough? Number. They fell because they stopped listening. Because they thought they were above failure.
I'm not walking into this blind. I've seen what power does. I've felt how it tempts, how it whispers, how it promises peace in exchange for control. But I'm not going to repeat the past. I'm not going to become another Anakin.
You want to train a new generation of Jedi? Then be the kind of master who teaches them to question even their masters. Teach them to feel. Teach them to love. Don't build another temple on ashes and expect it not to burn. You're not rebuilding the Jedi, Luke. You're redefining them. That means you can't repeat their mistakes.
Train others? Of course I will. The Force didn't return balance just so we could hide from it. The Jedi must rise again. Not to rule, not to fight wars, but to protect, to guide, to heal. That's what Father was meant to be. That's what have to be.
Ben, he's not just a child of the Force. He's our son, mine and Han's. If you train him, if you guide him, you'll be shaping a legacy far greater than your own. So be careful with him. He won't just carry your power. He'll carry your pain if you're not careful.
You're right about one thing, though. I do feel something pulling at me. A weight. A responsibility I didn't ask for, but can't ignore. Maybe it's the light. Maybe it's the remnants of the dark trying to call me back. But I won't fall. I won't.
I know you mean well. You always have. You've saved so many lives, given so much of yourself. But even you, Luke Skywalker, you are still human, still fallible. If you ever find yourself drifting too far, promise me you'll let me bring you back. Promise me you won't shut me out.
Leia, I know what happened to Father terrifies you. It terrifies me. But I believe we can be more than what came before. I believe in second chances. I believe the Force brought us here. Me, you, Han, for a reason. Maybe it's to finish what the Jedi couldn't.
Then let's face this next chapter, together. No more secrets. No more silence. The Force brought us back into the same fight for a reason. And I won't let us walk separate paths again. Not when the fate of the galaxy may still rest on your shoulders.
I promise. I won't try to carry it all alone. I won't shut you out. If I ever start slipping, if I ever stop listening to the light, then you remind me who I am, who we are. Who's there? I can feel something. A presence. Twisting the air. Cold like a shadow that doesn't belong here. This isn't a dream, and it's not a memory. Show yourself. I know you're watching. I can feel it in the Force.
Ah, young Skywalker. Still clinging to the light. Still blinded by your fragile sense of duty. You walk among the living, yes, but not for long. The galaxy is vast, but the shadows are patient. I see you, boy, every step you take, every hope you carry. And when the time is right, I will strike, even from beyond death.
No, that's not possible. You died. I saw it. I felt it. The darkness that held you was torn away. The Emperor fell. The galaxy breathed again. You can't be here. Not like this. This isn't real.
Death is not the end for those who truly understand power. For those who command it. The dark side opens doors the Jedi fear to even name. You thought my destruction was final? Foolish. You destroyed my body, yes, but the soul of the Sith is eternal. I am bound to the dark side, and through it I linger. I rot in the seams of the Force, in places your kind dares not look. You cannot kill what the darkness protects.
You can't scare me anymore. That fear you used to feed on, it's gone. Your empire is crumbling. The people you oppressed are standing. Worlds are waking up. Your time is over. You lost. All you have left are threats and shadows.
Lost? Oh, Skywalker, you poor deluded child. You think you've won because you felled a throne, because the sky lit with fire. Number. The war continues. Beneath your victories, my influence still spreads like rot in the roots of the galaxy. What you killed was but a shadow, a husk. The true web was always deeper. And if you continue to pull at it, to chase what remains of me, you will unravel more than secrets. You will lose everything.
I won't stop. I can't. I've walked through the ruins you left behind. I've seen what your cruelty did to families, to children, to entire civilizations. I've watched good people fall, just trying to survive under your rule. I will see the Empire end, not out of vengeance, but so no one else has to suffer like that again.
You have grown, yes, but do not mistake growth for invulnerability. Strength does not make you immortal, and it will not shield those you love. I have seen their ends in the Force, Leia's scream in fire, Han's blood on the snow, the Wookiee crushed beneath the weight of resistance. You think the rebellion rises. I have already seen its ashes. Continue to hunt me, and you guarantee those futures. Their suffering will be your legacy.
No. You're lying. That's all you've ever done. You twist the truth, bend it until even your own servants don't recognize it anymore. You're not warning me. You're trying to break me. But I've been afraid before. I survived it. And now, I know better.
Fear is not weakness, Skywalker. It is truth, revealed. It exposes what your pride hides, what your precious Jedi teachings refuse to accept. You cling to your light as if it absolves you. But you are already marked, already seen. I know what hunts you in your dreams. I know the cold that never leaves your spine. And I know that beneath your resolve, you are afraid because you are alone. And soon the galaxy will be too.
I've never been alone, even in the darkest moments. The Force was always with me. My friends too. They never gave up on me. Han, Leia, Chewie. They fought for the good in me even when I couldn't see it. Myself. And my father. He's with me now. Not as Vader. As Anakin. And that means something.
Ah, yes. The fallen knight. Anakin Skywalker. Your father. My apprentice. The one who thought that love could undo blood. That compassion could balance war. He believed he could save her. He believed he could save you. But in the end he fell, just as you will. The same blood flows through you, the same pride, the same weakness, and I promise you, it will destroy you too.
You're wrong. He came back. When it mattered most, he turned away from everything you taught him. He chose the light. He chose us. You lost him, and that terrifies you. And now others, more and more, are finding the courage to do the same. The galaxy isn't yours to corrupt anymore. It's waking up.
Then you will watch it burn, Luke. Slowly, agonizingly. You will see each spark of hope extinguished, one by one. You will hear the screams of cities collapsing, of temples crumbling, of your people begging for salvation you cannot offer. And when you are buried in their ashes, when your allies lie broken at your feet, you will understand. You will beg to turn back time. But there will be no time left, only ruin.
I'm not afraid of you. Not your ghost. Not your empire. Not the twisted darkness you hide behind. Fear was your weapon. But I've learned. You only have power when people give it to you. I'm not giving you anything.
Not yet, not fully, but the fear is there. I taste it, I breathe it, and it will grow like poison beneath your skin. It will whisper to you in your darkest nights, in the silence of the stars, until the day you break, just like him.
Leave. Return to the shadows that bore you. Fade into the silence where your empire is already rotting. You don't belong here. Not in this time. Not in this galaxy. You never had power over me. I chose my path, and it doesn't lead back to you.
We shall see, boy. We shall see what remains of your strength when all else is stripped away. When your friends are gone. When your fire has dimmed. When the light itself abandons you. Then we will meet again. And then, only then, will you truly know the meaning of despair.
He's still out there. I can feel the pull, the presence. Maybe not in form, but in legacy. His hate lingers like smoke after fire. But I won't turn back. No matter what I face, no matter how far the shadows reach. I walk forward. The light leads me now. Ben, I was hoping you'd come. I could feel something in the Force pulling me here, like a whisper just out of reach. I didn't know if it would be you, or just silence. But somehow, I knew you'd find me. You always do, when I need you most.
You look to the stars, Luke, trying to find something to make sense of it all, hoping the galaxy above holds the truth your heart won't speak aloud. But the stars do not hold answers. They only reflect the light of what was. The real answers. They live in you, in your choices, in the path you walk now, even when it's dark.
He spoke to me. Palpatine. Or what was left of him. It wasn't just a memory or a nightmare. It was real. Cold. Twisted. Like a black hole made of hate. His voice. His presence. It wrapped around me like a storm I couldn't see through. He's gone. But I swear, he's still out there. And it's like he never really left.
You've seen it now, haven't you? The truth most Jedi never spoke aloud. That the end of a battle does not guarantee the beginning of peace. You destroyed the Death Star? Yes. But the shadow behind it remains. The dark side doesn't vanish with a single blow. It lingers. It festers. And sometimes, it finds ways to speak, even through death.
How could no one see it? How did he climb so high while the Jedi watched? While the Senate clapped? He turned the whole galaxy upside down, right in front of everyone. Did no one speak out? Were they all too blind? Or too afraid? How does something like that happen with so many good people standing by?
The Emperor was never just a man, Luke. He was a fracture in the Force itself, an open wound that bled darkness into every corner of the galaxy. He didn't conquer with weapons alone. He seduced. He promised strength in exchange for silence. He wrapped the Senate in chains it begged to wear. And as the galaxy slept, he turned Jedi against Jedi, until the light was almost gone.
He told me we'd all die if we kept fighting him. That this, what we're doing, it's hopeless. He said the rebellion would burn. That everything we're fighting for is nothing but smoke. That we're chasing ghosts while he watches us bleed. And for a second, a part of me wondered if he might be right.
Because evil doesn't always scream. It doesn't always come with red blades and thunder. Sometimes it speaks softly. It offers solutions, promises peace. It tells the frightened exactly what they want to hear. That's how it grows. The dark side is patient, Luke. It waits for doubt. It waits for fear. And when it finds them, it whispers. And people listen.
But I don't understand. Ben, he's gone. I know that. I saw him fall. I felt the force shift. So why does it still feel like we're losing? Why does the galaxy still feel like it's holding its breath? Why are people still afraid to believe in the light again?
The dark side fears what it cannot break, and so it attacks it, not with armies, but with doubt, with despair. Your hope, it shines, brighter than you know. That's why it seeks to snuff it out. The Empire never feared weapons. It feared belief. Because belief cannot be bombed. And hope, Luke. Hope is what they cannot kill.
You sound like you've seen it happen before. Like you've watched hope fall apart. And people follow the wrong path. Over and over. Is that what the Clone Wars were like? Is that what happened to you? To the others?
Because the true war was never over borders or territory. Not truly. It was a war for souls, for hearts, for the will to choose compassion in a galaxy screaming for blood. Palpatine knew this. He didn't just want power, he wanted to destroy the idea of light. But if you keep believing, if you carry that spark within you, then even his ghost cannot win.
A Jedi? Someone you trusted? Someone you trained? That's hard to imagine. That someone who understood the Force so deeply could just turn their back on everything. How does that happen, Ben? How does someone so strong fall?
Yes. I've seen it all. I've seen Jedi Masters, warriors, heroes, men and women we trusted, fall beneath the weight of fear. I saw noble hearts twist into weapons used by the very evil they once fought. And I saw one soul in particular, one we had such faith in, fall so far we began to doubt he ever existed at all.
What happened to him? What did he become? And was it fast or slow? Did he know what he was doing? Or did he think he was doing the right thing? Did he feel it when the darkness took over? Or did it lie to him, little by little, until he couldn't see the light anymore?
He was the brightest of us, gifted, passionate, capable of great love and great anger. But he trusted the wrong voice. He turned to the wrong path. The Emperor offered him answers the Jedi were too afraid to give. And when the moment came, he chose to embrace the storm. What was left was no longer Anakin Skywalker.
Do you believe he ever regretted it? Even for a second? That maybe in some quiet moment, behind everything he became, he felt sorrow? Or shame? Or anything that reminded him he was still human?
He made his choice. And once a Jedi gives themselves to the dark side, they lose more than their name. They lose their sense of self. But the Force is patient. Even when a soul falls, it does not let go. It waits. It watches. And sometimes even the lost can find their way back.
Then there's still hope. Even if it's buried deep. Even if it's almost gone. It means there's still a chance. A flicker of light. It's all anyone needs to find their way back. If someone like him can still be saved, then maybe no one is truly lost.
I believe, deep down, somewhere, buried beneath armor and pain, there was still a part of him that remembered love, remembered who he had been. I believe it flickered in moments, in silence, and perhaps, when he looked at you, perhaps you reminded him of who he was.
And if I fail? If I give it everything I have, and still fall short? If my strength isn't enough, if my compassion doesn't reach him, what then, Ben? What happens to the galaxy if the Force chose wrong?
Yes, Luke. But hope is not a banner. It is not a word you speak. It is a fire you carry. It must be protected when the winds rise. It must be fed when darkness presses in. And it must be shared, or it dies. You carry that hope now, not just for the rebels, but for every fallen Jedi, for every child who was told to stop dreaming. You carry all of us.
Even him? You think there's a path back? Even for someone who's done what he has? After everything. I want to believe that. I do. But I don't know if I can forgive him. Not yet.
If you fall, the light dims. If you give in, we lose more than a war. We lose the future. But I don't believe that will happen, because I've known men stronger than you, wiser than you, who still gave up. But in you, I see something rarer. I see the strength to forgive, even those who hurt you most. That is the power they never understood, especially him. Because if he can be saved, then so can everything, even the Force itself. We'll speak again soon, Luke. But for now, walk forward. Even if the path is dark, keep moving. You are not alone. I will be with you, always.
Thank you, Ben, for still being here, for believing in me, for carrying the weight of everything that came before, and still trusting that I could carry it forward. I'll try not to let you down. I was really hoping I'd be done with ghosts. I thought I left that behind on Endor. But here you are again. And I don't know what this is. Some lesson, some warning. But I don't need it. Not now. Not like this.
You hear my voice, and you think it's the dark side playing tricks on your mind. I don't blame you. I once believed the same. That nothing from the future could reach back. That fate was a river you could only ride downstream. But the Force is deeper than we understood, Luke. And it's trying to reach you. Through me. Because it remembers. And because it mourns what is to come.
The Jedi are gone. Yes. But not forever. That's why I survived. That's why we survived. There's something left. Something worth protecting, worth rebuilding. I've seen too much to let it all fade into legend. The galaxy needs Jedi, not just warriors, but guardians. Lights in the dark.
I was you once. I stood where you now stand, full of fire and hope, believing that I could rebuild everything that was lost, that the Jedi would rise again, nobler, wiser, brighter than before. I wanted to heal the wound the galaxy had carried since the Clone Wars. I thought I could fix everything, but I didn't see the cracks beneath my own feet.
You say you've seen what I haven't, but I've stood on the edge too. I've fought in the trenches, felt the coldness of death all around me, and I've still held on to hope. And I've seen what happens when no one believes. I won't let that happen again. Not while I can stand.
You believe training a new generation of Jedi will prevent another war. You believe that if you teach them balance, compassion, discipline, they will never fall. But some of them will, Luke. And one will fall harder than any of us did. His fall will not be quiet. It will rip through the stars like fire. And you will carry the blame.
If I let fear dictate my actions, then what separates me from the Sith? From the Empire? I'm not rebuilding the Jedi to control the future. I'm doing it because someone has to believe in a better one. Leia does. Han does. And I do too. I won't let your fear become my prison.
You're right to want peace. You're right to want justice. But sometimes, wanting is not enough. Sometimes, we plant seeds in poisoned soil, and by the time we see what's grown, it's already too late to stop it. I trained him. I trained your nephew. I watched his light twist into shadow because I was blind to my own fear. And that blindness cost me everything.
Ben is just a child. He hasn't even taken his first steps into the Force, and already you speak of his fall like it's fate. But nothing is written, not unless we write it. And I won't damn him before he's even had the chance to choose. I won't fear the people I love.
Ben Solo is your sister's son. He will have strength beyond any Padawan you've ever met. But inside that strength is a storm waiting to be unleashed. A rage born not just from him, but from what he inherits. His legacy is your father's, and your father's shadow still lingers, waiting for a new host.
If I don't train him, if I don't try, then I'll have failed before I've begun. That's not who I am. That's not who you were when I believed in you. I saved you because I wouldn't give up. How can you ask me to give up on him?
You think this is about rebuilding the Jedi. It isn't. It's about understanding what we failed to learn. The Jedi were powerful, but arrogant. We trained for war when we should have trained for truth. We preached detachment and forgot compassion. And when we tried to rise again, we made the same mistakes. I made the same mistakes.
You say, this is about protecting the future. But what future is worth saving if we can't even believe in those closest to us? If we lose that, then what are we even fighting for? Not peace, not justice, just survival. And survival isn't enough anymore.
This warning, it is not to scare you. It is to beg you. Do not repeat my path. Do not carry the burden of rebuilding the Jedi into a galaxy that is not healed. Not yet. Let the Force guide its own return. Let it heal in silence. The fire in Ben is not ready to be touched. Not by you, not by anyone.
I'm sorry. I respect you. I'll always love you, but I'm not turning away from this. I'm not walking back into hiding, waiting for things to go wrong. I'm going to stand. I'm going to teach. And I'm going to give Ben a chance. No one gave Anakin.
You will try to train him. You will give him everything. And one day, you will see the darkness growing in him. And you will hesitate. And that hesitation will shatter him. It will shatter you. And everything you built, every student, every temple, every word you taught, will fall with him.
Even if I fail, even if it all falls apart, I want to know I tried. I want to know I didn't let the past cage me. You once told me that the future was always in motion. Then let me move toward it, not away.
I come to you not as a warning of doom, but as someone who still believes in you, who wants to save you from becoming what I became. A legend surrounded by ashes, a teacher whose greatest student became his greatest failure. You have time. You can still choose another way.
I'll carry the burden if I have to. I'll carry the weight of the Jedi. I'll carry the hope. And maybe that's foolish. Maybe it's dangerous, but it's mine to carry now. And I won't let go.
The Jedi will return. The light will rise. But it must be earned through patience, not passion. Through harmony, not haste. Do not run toward destiny, Luke. Walk slowly. Listen. Wait. The galaxy is not yet ready, and neither is he.
Luke, I can see it in your eyes. Something's shaken you. You're trying to hide it, but I've known you too long. Whatever it is, you don't have to carry it alone. Tell me what happened. Please.
I know how it sounds. Believe me, I do. I wanted to laugh it off, call it a trick of the dark side, some remnant of Palpatine's shadow. But when he looked at me, Leia, when he said your son's name, I felt something. Something deep. Like part of me already knew what he was saying might be true.
A ghost? Of yourself? Luke, that's not something small. That's not something you just push aside. If the Force has shown you a future, if it's warning you in any way, you have to take that seriously. Even if it's painful. Even if it's terrifying.
He said the Jedi would fall again. That rebuilding the Order would only lead to more pain. That if I trained Ben, your son, I would start something I wouldn't be able to stop. That it would break him. Break me. And part of me wanted to believe him. Because part of me is terrified that he's right.
Ben. He's just a child, Luke. A child with so much light in him. And something else, too. I've felt it for years. Something deeper. Older. I never said it aloud because I didn't know what to do with it. Maybe now. I understand.
But I can't just walk away, Leia. I can't live with that fear controlling me. We fought too hard for this chance. For peace. For balance. If I turn my back now, if I don't try to rebuild, then what was the point of everything we've done?
If someone came to warn you about him, if you came to warn yourself, then we owe it to him to listen. We owe it to the galaxy. Maybe it's not just about fear. Maybe it's not just about giving up. Maybe it's about knowing what's at stake.
I felt it the moment Ben was born. The Force moved in him like a storm waiting to rise. He's powerful. More powerful than I've ever felt in someone his age. And yes, that power scares me. Not because of what he is, but because of what he could become.
You've always looked forward, Luke. Always believed in what could be. That's one of your greatest strengths. But sometimes, the future needs us to pause, to look inward, to ask if what we want to build is what should be built.
No one ever told us what to do with fear, did they? Not the kind that grows inside you when you look at someone you love and wonder if you'll be the one to ruin them. That's what I felt when I saw that version of myself. Regret. Weight. Like every choice I made led to fire.
No, Luke. I don't think he sounded like someone who'd given up. I think he sounded like someone who'd seen too much, who loved the galaxy enough to warn you when no one else could. That's not fear. That's love, in its most desperate form.
But that's not me. Not yet. And it won't be. Because I'm not going to train from fear. I'm going to train from faith. From hope. Just like you believed in me. Just like Ben needs someone to believe in him.
I know you don't want to be him, but sometimes becoming the person we fear most doesn't happen all at once. It happens in steps, in small, stubborn denials, in believing only we know what's right. Be careful, Luke. Please.
I understand why the Force showed me that path. But the future isn't written in stone. It's shaped by our choices. By the way We rise above the warnings, not retreat from them. I will train the Jedi again. I have to. Because if we don't rebuild the light, the darkness will return unchecked.
That's not weakness, Luke. That's not doubt. That's your heart trying to speak over your fear. I believe in you, but I also know the power you hold. The path you're choosing will shape more than just your future. It will shape Ben's and mine.
You don't have to agree with me. You don't even have to support me. But I need you to know, I'm not doing this because I'm stubborn. I'm doing this because I have to believe we're better than our past. That we can learn from it. That we can raise something stronger from the ashes.
There's always something in him, Luke. Something wild. Something beautiful. But that storm, it's growing. And I don't know if love will be enough. I don't know if teaching him will be enough. I don't even know if you'll reach him in time.
Ben is your son. And in a way, he's mine too. Not by blood, but by duty. And I won't let the fear of who he might be stop me from helping him become who he's meant to be.
Then you have to be stronger than all of us ever were. You have to carry more than just the legacy of the Jedi. You have to carry every broken promise, every fallen knight, and still walk forward. That's not a burden. It's a purpose. Yours.
No matter what happens, I'll carry the burden. If I fail, I'll own it. But if I succeed, maybe, just maybe, this galaxy gets to believe in the Jedi again.
I will support you, Luke. I will trust you. But promise me, no matter how sure you feel, no matter how much the fire inside you burns, you won't shut out what he showed you. Even the darkest warnings can hold the brightest truth. And if you're right, then may the Force guide us. And if you're wrong, may it still forgive us.
Ah, Captain Solo, so full of fire, so full of misplaced loyalty. It burns through you like a dying star, bright but doomed. I wondered when you would feel me, when the shadows would stretch long enough for you to notice the cold creeping in. You think me dead. You think yourselves free. But the dark side has no grave. It festers. It lingers. And now it returns.
Oh, that voice. I know that voice. But it can't be. You're dead. You died. You were thrown into a reactor core and blasted into history. I don't believe in ghosts, and I sure as hell don't believe in you. So whatever trick this is, whatever dark side illusion you've crawled out of, it ends here.
You think your son is safe in your hands, in your home. You cradle a spark of chaos, a storm you cannot contain. I have seen it, felt it, in the Force. His path is already drawn. The boy is mine, Solo. His blood may carry your name, but his destiny carries mine. He will not be the hero you dream of. He will be the dagger that pierces the heart of your precious rebellion.
Ben is my son. You don't speak his name. You don't get to speak his name. I held him in my arms. I taught him how to fly. I stayed up nights while he had fevers and nightmares. He's not yours. He's not some piece on your game board. And I won't let you sink your claws into him, not while I'm still breathing.
You cling to him as if love alone can stop what is coming. But love is not protection. It is a crack, a vulnerability. The Sith know this. That's why we shed it. But you wallow in it. You feed him your fears, your failures, your hope, and hope is nothing but the sweetest poison. He will taste it, he will spit it out, and when he does, he will look to me for strength.
You're wrong. You don't know him. You think you felt his power, seen his fear, tasted his anger. But you haven't seen the other parts, the parts that matter. His heart, his kindness, the way he smiles when he thinks no one's watching. You don't know that boy like I do. You only know the shadow he's afraid of becoming.
You do not see what he is becoming, but I do. I see the confusion behind his eyes, the hunger, the anger, the shame he will not speak aloud. He is searching for something, meaning, power, control. You offer him bedtime stories. I offer him answers. I offer him purpose. And when the time comes, he will choose.
You talk like it's already done, like he's yours. But let me tell you something. I've stared down bounty hunters, Hutts, Sith, and things in the galaxy that didn't even have names. You don't scare me, and I won't give up on him. Not now, not ever. Ben Solo's not gone, and I'll fight the entire damn force itself before I let you take him.
Oh yes, you call yourself father. You believe you matter. But blood is not enough. You are a smuggler, a scoundrel, a relic of rebellion and rust. You were never meant to raise someone like him. He is something new, something ancient. He was born not to follow your footsteps, but to walk the path I have prepared.
What you don't get, what you'll never get, is that I'm not fighting with blasters or tricks or some Jedi prophecy. I'm fighting with what you never had. Family, love. Stubborn, stupid, reckless love. And that's something you can't touch, no matter how many ghosts you send to whisper in the dark.
You say he is light, but I have seen his future, and it is written in shadow. He will destroy what you love. He will silence the voices that guide him now. And when he breaks free of your chains, when he unleashes the fire he was born to wield, you will not even recognize the boy you claim to protect.
You want to scare me? Go ahead. You want to throw visions of my son turning into some monster? Fine. I've already seen the worst this galaxy has to offer. I've lived through it, and I'm still standing. So bring your nightmares, bring your whispers, bring whatever twisted version of fate you think you control. I'll be here, waiting.
This defiance you carry, it is admirable, but pointless. You resist not for strength, but because you are afraid. Afraid that I am right. Afraid that no matter how hard you fight, he will slip through your fingers. That one day you will look into his eyes and see me staring back. Why do you think I come to you now? Not because I fear you, but because I know your weakness. You believe in people, in redemption, in second chances, but some stars are born to collapse. You think you can save him. I know you will try, and I know you will fail.
You know what? Maybe Ben will struggle. Maybe he'll get lost for a while. Maybe he'll even fall. But if he does, I'll still be there, reaching for him. I'll be the hand he grabs when he wants to come back. Because that's what a father does. And nothing you say changes that. Nothing ever will.
And in that failure, when the ashes of your rebellion settle, when your son stands atop the ruins of your resistance with a saber ignited in my name, you will remember this moment. You will remember the warning, and you will understand, too late, that this galaxy was never yours to save.
You're so desperate to prove you've won. But if you had, if Ben really was already gone, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be crawling through shadows, whispering threats to an old man on a broken ship. You're not here because you've won. You're here because you're afraid he still might choose something better.
You may call me ghost, shadow, illusion, but I endure. I endured through empires, through fire, through betrayal and death, and I will endure long after your bones are dust. The boy is already slipping. You cannot hold him. You cannot stop me. I have waited a lifetime for this, and now my true heir will rise.
You're wasting your breath, Palpatine. You don't know hope. You don't know love. You don't know what it means to actually care about someone more than yourself. So no matter how many lies you tell, I'll keep believing in him. I'll keep fighting for him because he's worth it. And because I believe somewhere deep down, he knows it too. Yeah, you keep talking about how powerful you are, but you're the one sneaking into my ship, muttering threats like a ghost with no teeth. You're not destiny. You're not fate. You're just noise. And Ben, he's not your puppet. He's my kid.
Master, do you hear me? Do you feel me? I know you do. I know you can sense it, sense me. You always could. Even when I was lost, even when I was consumed, I could still feel your presence in the Force, distant, watching, waiting. And now, I am here. I have returned.
A trick, this is. A disturbance in the Force, I feel. Faint, yet present. Familiar, yet wrong. Illusions the dark side conjures. Shadows, it twists. Many times before have I felt such things. Whispers, deception, echoes of what once was but is no longer. A trick, this must be. A test, perhaps. Or a trap.
It's me, Master. Not a vision. Not a trick of the dark side. Not a lie whispered by the shadows. It is me. The boy you once trained. The Jedi I was meant to be. The one you feared was lost forever. And yet, here I stand before you, through the Force, through the light. You know the truth. You feel it. You may not believe it yet, but you will.
Number no. Impossible, this is. Deception, it must be. The past does not return. The dead, in the Force, they become one. They do not walk among the living. No matter how strong, no matter how powerful, no matter how much grief one carries. Return, they do not. Cannot. Jedi do not cling to the world they leave behind. Accept this. We must. And yet, here you stand. Here you linger.
It's not a deception. It's not some cruel illusion sent to torment you. I swear it. I swear it. I have returned through the Force, not as Vader, not as the monster I allowed myself to become, but as Anakin Skywalker, the man you once knew, the Jedi I once was. I thought I had been erased, buried beneath the darkness, but the Force does not forget. The Force has given me this chance, and I will not waste it.
A lie, this is. A trick of the dark side. Many forms it takes. Many faces it wears. Knows my mind? It does. Knows my regrets. Knows my fears. It seeks to break my resolve, to pull me into doubt. A name it speaks, meant to weaken me. A voice it wears, meant to deceive. But fooled, I will not be. See through this deception, I do. Or, see through me, it does.
Because you have to know. You must understand. What is coming cannot be ignored. What has been set in motion cannot be stopped. I failed you. I failed everyone. And now, it is happening all over again. The past is repeating itself, Master. The same choices, the same fears, the same mistakes. But this time, there is still a chance to change it. A chance to stop what I could not.
Return, Jedi do not. Pass on, they must. Fade, they must. Accept the Force, they must. And become part of the living energy of all things. Not cling to the past. Not hold on to what was. This, the way of the Jedi, is. A truth I have known for many, many years. And yet, still here you are. Still speaking. Still present. Tell me, how? Why? What power allows this? And what purpose does it serve?
I know. I will never escape what I have done. No matter how far I reach, no matter how deeply I regret, I will never undo the pain I caused, the lives I took, the suffering I allowed. I can never take back what I became. I can never undo the war, the destruction, the terror. I will carry it for as long as I exist. But that's not why I'm here. That's not why the Force allows me to stand before you now. I am here because there is still time. Time to make a different choice.
Failed, you did. Many lost, because of you. Many worlds burned. Many voices silenced. Much darkness you brought. This, no lie is. This, no deception is. Heavy, your choices were. Terrible. The Jedi, gone. The Republic, no more. A galaxy, left in ruin. All by your hand. And now before me, you stand and say, time. There still is? A mistake, once made, cannot be undone. A wound, too deep, cannot heal. Time. For what?
For him. For my son. For Luke. For the last hope in the galaxy. The last light in all of this darkness. For you to see that the same mistakes do not need to be made again. I was lost, Master. But Luke is not. Not yet. But if you hesitate, if you let fear decide for you as it once decided for me, then you will lose him. And if you lose him, then the galaxy falls with him.
Much anger in him there is. Much pain. Much grief. Much loss. A reflection I see. A path. Too familiar. The same path I fear. The same choices. The same fall. To darkness. Drawn. As you once were. In him, I see what I once saw in you. Potential, power, but danger too. And if he stumbles, and if he wavers, and if, like you, he chooses the path you once walked, tell me how to stop it, you know? Tell me, certain you are, that it will not happen.
Not this time. This time, I know what will happen. This time, I see it clearly. You trained Luke. You gave him knowledge, wisdom, the foundation of what he must be. But you do not believe in him. Not truly. You do not trust that he is strong enough to stand against the darkness, to resist what I could not. I can feel your doubts, just as I once felt my own. You fear that he will fall, that he will take the path I did. And it is that fear, that very fear, that may doom him.
And if lost, he becomes? If Vader's fate he shares? If to darkness he turns? If the shadow consumes him as it consumed you? If by my hand another Jedi is lost? If history repeats itself, as it so often does? Can that risk I take? That failure can I bear? Alone he stands against a darkness vast, a darkness patient, a darkness that knows. And in the end, strong enough he is? Tell me, he is strong enough?
Then help him. Do not abandon him to his fate. Guide him, the way I was never guided. Do not push him toward the darkness by making him fear what he could become. Teach him how to resist it. Teach him what I was never taught.
Let him see that he does not have to fall, that he is not doomed to my fate. You were wrong about me, Master. You did not trust that I could be saved.
Real, you are. Truly. In the Force, you remain. A trick, this is not. Not the dark side, not deception. Not the shadow seeking to twist my thoughts. Number Anakin it is. Anakin Skywalker. Returned through the light. Here before me you stand. And yet, my heart does not know whether to find peace or sorrow.
Then that is my failure to bear, not yours. But I do not believe it will happen. I have seen the way he looks at the galaxy, the way he still hopes, even after everything that has been taken from him, after everything the Empire has done, after everything he has lost, he still believes. I had that once. I had that hope, and I let it slip through my fingers. I let the galaxy convince me that it wasn't real, that I needed more, that I had to take control. Luke does not see the galaxy that way. He still believes there is good, and that belief is the only thing keeping the darkness from taking him. But if you let fear dictate his path, if you keep the truth from him, if you force him to carry this burden alone, then you will lose him. And if you lose him, then all of this, everything we fought for, everything I destroyed, will have been for nothing.
Much to teach, Luke still has. Much to learn, much to prove. The burden he carries, heavy it is. The weight of legacy, of expectation. The weight of the Jedi placed upon him too soon. Too soon. And yet, no other choice there is. If hope to remain there is, then ready he must be.
Yes. You know it to be true. You feel it, don't you? The time is coming. The moment of choice. Do not wait too long, Master. Luke will need you. More than he even knows.
Then don't wait too long. The time is coming. And he will need you. Need you. More than he knows. More than even I know. Ready he must be. Ready we must be. Because this war, it is not over. Not yet.
Do not let fear decide for you, Master. Not again. Not this time.
Something has shifted. The air itself feels different, as though the Force trembles at the edge of revelation. I have ruled unchallenged for years. I have felt the currents of the dark side flow through me without resistance, without hesitation, without weakness. But now, there is something else. A ripple where there should be silence. A shadow that moves where no shadow should be. The very fabric of the Force trembles, as if disturbed by a presence that should not exist.
I do not know what you speak of, my master. I do not feel what you claim. The Force is vast, its currents unpredictable. A ripple in its depths does not mean a storm is coming. Disturbances happen, remnants of the past shift and stir, but they are nothing. Nothing worth acknowledging, nothing worth fearing. You place too much weight upon a flicker in the void, a whisper in the wind. It is meaningless. I remain as I always have, unyielding, unchanged, untouched by the past. You see shadows where there are none. You hear echoes where there is only silence.
Do you feel it, Lord Vader? Do you sense it, lurking just beyond your reach? That tremor in the Force that was not there before? It is subtle, yet undeniable. A whisper, a ripple, an echo of something long eradicated. A presence that should have been destroyed, and yet it lingers, like embers buried beneath the ash, refusing to die, waiting for the faintest breath of wind to stir them back to life. You feel it, You may try to push it away. You may tell yourself it is nothing, but the Force does not lie. It is there. It is waiting. And it is calling.
Anakin Skywalker is dead. You know this. You ensured this. I ensured it. The man you speak of, the one you claim to sense, no longer exists. I buried him long ago, burned him away on the flames of Mustafar, crushed him beneath the weight of my destiny. He is nothing but dust, scattered into the void, forgotten by time. Whatever presence you feel, whatever name you whisper, it is an illusion, a phantom conjured by wishful thinking. Anakin Skywalker is a corpse, and I walk only in his ashes. There is nothing left of him, nothing that can return, nothing that matters.
Do not lie to me. I know you felt it. You cannot hide it from me, no more than you could hide it from yourself. Do you think I do not see? Do you think I do not know what stirs within you? The Force shifts, and so do you. You hesitate. You waver. And I will not allow it.
The Jedi have always clung to their ghosts. It is their greatest weakness. They fear the present, so they reach for the past. They refuse to let go of what is gone, of what cannot be reclaimed, believing that it still holds power over them. But ghosts do not rule the living. They do not shape the future. They are mere remnants, weak, meaningless, trapped in the echoes of what once was. I do not cling to the past. I do not need it. I am not haunted by it. I have destroyed it. You have made me more than what I once was. And yet you question me. You doubt me. The past has no hold on me, my master, and neither do the dead.
He has returned.
It means nothing. Skywalker is gone. He has no influence here, no power, no voice. If something remains, it is an echo, a flicker of what was, a dying breath in an endless void. But it will fade. It must fade. It has no place in this world. It does not change my purpose. It does not change me. I serve only the Empire. I serve only you.
You felt him. You may not have seen him. You may not have dared to speak his name, but you felt him. I know you did. The past reached for you through the Force, clawing its way through time, defying the fate you swore had been sealed. Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi you buried, the man you swore was dead, and yet, somehow in some way he remains. Not as flesh, not as blood, but as something else. A shadow refusing to fade, a whisper that lingers. And you, Lord Vader, you felt it. And still, you deny it.
Whatever you believe, my master, I remain as I have always been. I have not wavered. I have not broken. You forged me into something greater. You severed my chains, freed me from the illusion of the light. I do not stray from that path. I cannot stray from that path. My loyalty is not shaken. My purpose is not lost. I know who I am. I know what I have become. I am your weapon, your enforcer, your apprentice. If shadows linger, they will burn away. If the past reaches for me, I will cut it down. The Jedi are gone. Their influence is nothing. Their ghosts are powerless. I have no doubts.
Is he? You tell yourself that Anakin Skywalker is dead. You believe it. You built yourself upon that belief. You needed to believe it, because if you did not, then you would have to face what you did. You would have to face him. And so you buried him. You crushed him. You smothered the last remnants of who you were beneath the weight of the dark side, beneath my teachings, beneath your own rage. And yet, despite everything, he has reached through the Force once more, and the Force itself listens. Why? Why? Why now? Why does the past refuse to stay buried? Why does the Force whisper his name when it should have long since forgotten it? Why, Lord Vader, do you stand before me now, hesitating?
Anakin Skywalker is dead. I did not bury him. I destroyed him. I did not smother him. I purged him. The man I was, the Jedi I once claimed to be, ceased to exist the moment I embraced my true purpose. You did not shape me into something greater, my master. I chose this path. And yet, you question me. You press me with riddles, with illusions, with whispers that hold no weight. The Force does not call his name. I do not hear it. The past is dead.
No? You claim he is gone? That he no longer exists? Then tell me, my apprentice. Why now? Why has this presence emerged now? Why does he return now? After all these years, after all this time, after everything you have done to erase him, why has he come back to haunt the Force? Why does he reach for you? You have no answer. You cannot answer. Because deep down, you know. Deep down, beyond all your rage, beyond all your denial, you feel it, and it terrifies you.
Why? Why now? You demand answers for shadows that hold no power, for ghosts that have no voice. There is no reason, there is no meaning. The Force is vast. It shifts, it moves, it echoes what once was, but it does not bring back the dead. You sense a ripple in the dark and think it is the past clawing back to life. It is nothing, a disturbance, an anomaly, nothing more. You search for weakness where there is none. You search for him where he does not exist.
I felt it when the disturbance reached Yoda. I felt it. The pulse in the Force that was not meant to be. A connection rekindled. A presence that should not have touched the Force again. And yet, it did. He did. Do you understand what this means? The dead do not return. Not unless something calls them back. Not unless something is changing. And if something is changing, Lord Vader, it means that the fate we have shaped is no longer as certain as we once believed.
I do not hesitate. I do not waver. You claim I stand before you uncertain, that I am shaken by something unseen. But I am not. Anakin Skywalker is an illusion, a name with no meaning. I have not faltered. I have not forgotten who I am.
Do not be a fool.
You believe this presence is more than a flicker, that it is more than the dying breath of something long extinguished. Then tell me, why does it matter? If he was truly gone, as I know he is, then he cannot reach for me. And if he were somehow not, then what difference does it make? He's nothing to me. He has no power, no control, no place in this galaxy. I am Vader. I am your apprentice. That is all that matters.
I forged you, Vader. I created you. I tore away the weakness of the man you once were, stripped away the illusions of the Jedi, and reforged you into something greater. And yet, something has cracked. Something has shifted. A fault in the foundation. A light that should have long since been extinguished. I have spent too long perfecting you, shaping you into the apprentice I require, to allow something as pathetic as an old ghost to weaken you. For your sake, you had better be certain of your convictions. I will not tolerate failure. I will not allow sentiment, weakness, or the past to undo what I have built. The Jedi are gone. Their teachings, gone. Their influence, gone. And I will see to it that nothing remains. If there is even the faintest ember left smoldering in the ashes, I will crush it. I will not permit the past to rise again. Do you understand me, Lord Vader? If the past seeks to return, if the whisper of Skywalker still lingers in the Force, if you falter for even a moment, then I will burn it from existence. I will snuff it out before it can breathe. I will eradicate every trace of him until not even the Force itself remembers his name.
What does it mean? It means nothing. He means nothing. Let the past whisper. Let the dead linger in the void if they wish. It does not change the present. It does not alter my course. I do not answer to ghosts. You speak as if this changes something, as if a disturbance, a mere flicker in the Force, threatens all that we have built. It does not. Do not mistake a shadow for a storm. Do not mistake a memory for a threat. Nothing has changed. Do not mistake my conviction, my master. I remain as I always have. I serve you. I obey you. If the past seeks to haunt me, then let it try. It will not touch me. It will not break me. You taught me to sever myself from weakness. That lesson has not been forgotten. If there is a fault, it will be corrected. If something has shifted, I will crush it. If a light remains, I will extinguish it. There will be no hesitation, no sentiment, no failure. I understand, my master. I will not allow the past to rise again. If Skywalker's name lingers in the Force, then I will erase it. If something stirs, then I will silence it. I will not falter. I will not hesitate. The Jedi are gone, and they will stay gone. Let the past seek to rise. Let it try. I will ensure it falls again. Then let it try. Let the past rise. Let it dare to stand before me, and I will crush it.
You didn't win, Anakin. You struck me down, yes. You severed the body, ended the life you once knew. But the Force does not end with death. It transcends it. You thought that killing me would silence me forever, that it would erase what I was. But here I am, still speaking, still watching, still believing. You didn't win. Not then. Not now.
You dare speak that name to me? That name is dead, buried, forgotten. You, of all people, should know what it meant, and what I had to become to leave it behind. Do not try to bring it back, Obi-Wan. That name no longer holds power over me, except as a reminder of everything that was lost because of you.
You may wear the armor, the mask, the name. You may hide behind the steel and fire of the Empire, but it does not undo who you were. It does not erase the truth. The Force remembers. I remember. You can silence your voice, your name, your soul, but not the ripples you made. Not the man who once stood beside me, who once believed. That cannot be undone. Not truly.
You are dead. You were defeated. A ghost with no substance. No strength, just a fading echo of a failed age. The Jedi are gone. You should have passed on with them, into silence. Yet here you are, whispering your delusions like they mean something. You are nothing, Kenobi. Nothing but a flicker in the void.
Then why do you still hear me? Why do my words find you in the silence of your chambers? Why does my voice still echo in the back of your mind when all is quiet? You feel the disturbance, don't you? Not just in the galaxy, but in yourself. Something inside you is still listening, still aware. That is why I'm here. That is why I can be here.
You haunt me not because you are right, but because you are weak. Because you failed me. You failed her. You failed the order you swore to protect, and now you come crawling from the shadows to speak of hope, to tell me how the galaxy should be. You haunt me because you couldn't save me, and you know it.
I don't come because of the past. I don't come because of vengeance or regret. I appear now because somewhere, buried beneath the pain, beneath the fury, beneath everything you've built around yourself, something remains. Something in you still hears the light, still feels it. It's faint, but it's there. A part of you has never stopped listening. You don't want to, no matter how much you pretend otherwise.
The dark side gave me power, real power, more than you ever allowed, more than the Council would ever trust me with. While you preached patience and peace, I watched worlds burn and children die. I begged for the strength to stop it, and the Jedi offered nothing. But Sidious, he gave me purpose, he gave me fire, he gave me control.
Power, yes. You have it in abundance. The galaxy trembles at your command. But has it brought you peace? Has it given you what you sought? You command legions, you crush worlds. But you sleep alone inside this iron tomb. You search the stars endlessly, not for justice, not for victory, but for what you lost, for what was taken, or perhaps for what you gave away.
You speak of things you cannot understand. You hide behind the Force like a shield, pretending it speaks only to you. But you were blind, all of you, blind to the pain, to the war, to the rot inside the Republic. You knew nothing of the real cost. You stood above it all and called yourselves wise, while everything fell apart beneath you.
I understand better than you think. You believe no one else could understand the storm inside you, the pull, the pain, the loss. But I was there. I saw it begin, and I saw where it led. You chose this path, but the galaxy has not followed you. The rebellion stands because the people still believe there is a better way. They fight not because they are strong, but because they have hope. And that makes them stronger than you can imagine.
Hope is a lie. It's a fantasy the Jedi clung to like children in the dark. It blinded them to reality. While the galaxy cried out, they meditated in silence. While people suffered, they spoke of balance. Hope doesn't feed the hungry or end war. It only delays the inevitable. It is a weakness, one I tore from myself long ago.
And yet, that hope, it spreads. It survives. Even after the fires, the fear, the oppression. It flickers in every dark corner of the galaxy. In every child who dreams of peace. In every pilot who flies into battle knowing they may not return. In every whisper of your name, not in fear, but in defiance. You can destroy their weapons, their homes, their cities, but you cannot destroy what lives inside them.
I will end them. Every last rebel, every whisper of resistance. I will crush their bases, burn their worlds, erase their leaders. One by one, I will turn their hope into fear, and their fear into obedience. And when they look to the stars for salvation, they will see me. I will become the darkness that even dreams cannot escape.
You tried that, with me. You stood over me, blade in hand, thinking you had ended it. But you didn't destroy my hope. You didn't destroy me. And the same will happen again. You cannot extinguish the light by force. You cannot kill what the Force itself protects.
Do not speak his name. You have no right. He is mine to deal with. My burden, my consequence. You will not twist him with your lies. I see what you are doing, planting seeds, stoking doubt. But it will not work. He will never become what you hope. I will ensure it.
I am more now than I ever was in life. I am not bound by flesh, or fear, or time. I am part of something greater, and so is the rebellion. So is Luke. You may try to crush them, you may try to bend them, but you cannot stop what they carry inside. It is greater than you. Greater than me. It is the future.
Then that future is built on illusions, on a lie whispered by traitors and fools. You call it light, I call it weakness given form. You speak of your rebellion as if it is invincible, but I have seen it broken. I have torn hope from the mouths of dying men. If that is your something greater, then it will fall just like everything else. You are not free, Obi-Wan. You are chained to a dream that has already died, and I am the one who buried it.
He is stronger than you know, stronger than I ever dared believe possible. Not because of anger, not because of vengeance, but because of his compassion, his faith, his willingness to see what others refuse to. He does not fear you, Anakin, because he sees not the monster you pretend to be, but the man you were, and that terrifies you.
You speak of him like he is untouched, as if he does not carry his own doubts, his own rage. You think compassion is strength? It is a blade without a hilt, beautiful until it cuts the hand that holds it. He will learn, as I did, what mercy costs. And if he looks at me and sees Anakin, then he is even more naive than you. He does not frighten me, but the mirror he holds up does, because in it, I see what I might have been.
Then why do you tremble when I say his name? Why does the air grow colder? Why does your silence speak louder than your threats? Because deep down, you feel it. He is coming, and he will not meet you as an enemy. He will face you as a son.
The dark side does not tremble, but you are right about one thing. There is a storm coming, and he will come. And when he does, he will see what the Jedi never taught him, what you never taught him. That sentiment is a wound that never heals. If he calls me father, it will be his last breath. I do not want his love. I want his loyalty, or his silence.
You cannot kill me again, old friend. You ended my life, but not my presence, not my purpose. And the more you try to silence me, the louder the Force allows me to become. You can roar, rage, strike down planets. But I will always be here. As long as there is hope, as long as there is light, I will remain.
Then I will burn the galaxy until there is no light left. I will bury your voice beneath the screams of the dying, drown your presence in shadows so deep the Force itself forgets your name. You think your death gave you strength? You think this hollow echo is power? You are wrong, Obi-Wan. The only voice that will echo through the stars will be mine.
We will meet again, Anakin. Not in anger, not in war, but in the space between who you are and who you were meant to be.
There is no between. There is no Anakin. There is no man behind this mask. Only fire, only fury, only Vader. And if we meet again, it will not be in peace. It will be in the moment I erase you completely and prove that I was right to leave that broken boy behind.
Come, you have. Long have I waited, felt the tremors in the Force, sensed the moment you would pass beyond the veil of life. The currents, they whispered of your coming, of your presence returning not as before, but as something more. And now, here you stand, between what was and what shall be. A moment this is, a moment long in the making.
Master Yoda, it has been far too long. So many years have passed since I last looked upon your face with my own eyes. since we stood side by side, brothers of the Order, protectors of the peace. I never imagined our next meeting would be like this, across the veil, between the living and the Force. And yet seeing you here now, it brings me a sense of peace I haven't known in a very long time.
Old friend, alive, you are not. Yet here you stand. Strange it is to see you again. Not as you were, but as the Force has shaped you. As light, as memory, as something that does not fade. A presence, strong as ever, bound not by flesh, but by will. The Force, still strong in you, it is. A gift, this is. An echo, a whisper, yet more than that. Proof that even in passing, a Jedi's journey is never truly done.
I suppose I took after you in more ways than one, Master. Quiet exile on a distant world, communing with the Force, clinging to what little remained. You vanished to Dagobah, and I to the sands of Tatooine. We both hid away, watching, waiting, guarding hope from the shadows. I didn't just learn from your teachings. I became a reflection of them, even in isolation. And now, even in death like you, I persist.
Persistent, you always were. Stubborn, determined, never content to let things be as they were. Talk too much, you did. Question, always question. Why this? Why that? The way of things hard to accept it was for you. Still, this has not changed. That spark within you remains as it always was, as it always will be. No easy path, yours has ever been. And now, beyond death, still questions you seek. Still, the fight within you burns.
I knew it was coming. That final moment aboard the Death Star. I knew it the second I saw him. I could feel the storm behind that mask, the weight of years, of hatred, of sorrow. And in truth, I welcomed it. My purpose had narrowed to a single point. I had spent so long running, hiding, surviving in silence. And yet in that moment I felt clarity. Not fear, not doubt. Only a strange sense of release. A return to the Force. Felt inevitable.
Felt it. I did. The moment you fell. The moment you became one with the Force. A great shift. A ripple through the currents of all things. The moment it happened, knew I did. Your time in the physical world ended it had. But lost, you were not. Number lost. No Jedi ever is. A part of the Force you became, as all do in time. And yet, knew I did. That this was not the end. That beyond, you would find your path once more.
I did not expect to survive our duel on the Death Star, Master. I don't think I wanted to. After everything I had seen, after everything I had failed to prevent, facing Anakin again wasn't just a mission. It was penance, a reckoning. I believed I had nothing left to give. And so, when the blade came for me, I embraced it. I thought perhaps this was how I could finally bring balance, by becoming part of the Force and guiding Luke from beyond.
Ready, you were. Or, willing, you hope to be. A difference there is. To be ready is to accept what is to come. To be willing is to let go of what you were. Embrace what you must become. Knew you did. What would happen? Accepted it, perhaps. But peace, truly, did you find in that moment? Or hope did you hold that more there was to do?
For years I've carried the burden of knowing what Anakin became, what I allowed him to become. I trained him. I watched him rise, and I watched him fall. I believed in him more than I ever believed in myself, and he destroyed everything. I have replayed that moment on Mustafar in my mind more times than I can count. I told myself that Darth Vader was all that remained, that Anakin Skywalker had died there on that molten ground. And I believed, when I next saw him, It would be the final chapter for us both.
A gift the Force has given you. To guide, to watch, to teach still. An end this is not. No. A new beginning this is. A path not yet walked. A lesson not yet learned. To pass into the Force, to become more than a man. To exist beyond time and space. Powerful, yes, but purpose. Still, there must be. The Force calls not without reason. Still work to do you have. Lessons to teach, wisdom to pass.
But Luke, he changed everything. The moment I saw him, I knew he was different. He carried the weight of legacy, yes, but not the anger, not the fear, not the recklessness. He wasn't me. He wasn't his father. He was something new, something pure. He reminded me of what the Jedi were meant to be. And in his eyes I saw the future. Not my future, but the future. And in that moment I understood. My story was done, but his was only just beginning.
But peace within you I do not sense. Fear, still, there is. Fear of what has been. Fear of what remains. Let go, you have not. Heavy, the weight is, of the past. Heavy, the burden of what was lost. And yet hold it, you still do. Afraid you are to release it. To accept that which cannot be undone. Shadows, they follow you, old friend. And until you let them pass, always they will remain.
There is no light left in Vader, Master. I have searched for it, reached for it, hoped for it, but I have found only emptiness. The man I once called brother, friend, he is buried beneath so much hate, so much pain. I cannot believe there is anything left of Anakin Skywalker. Not anymore. Whatever Luke sees in him, I fear it is only illusion.
Not so simple it is. Not so final. Not so absolute.
I have seen what he is. I have felt it. Standing so close to him, the dark side pours off of him like a storm. It chokes the air, strangles the light. The man I knew, the Jedi I trained, he is gone, obliterated. Vader is not a shadow of Anakin, he is a replacement. And I believe, no, I know, that whatever once lived in him is long dead beyond recall.
Still, within him, something remains. Clouded it is, lost, buried, but gone? Number gone? He is not. Darkness thick around him, suffocating, consuming. But beneath, something lingers. A whisper, a flicker. The light snuffed out. You believe? Number dim, perhaps, but waiting. Waiting for the moment to rise again.
Master, please. Don't ask me to believe something that could cost us everything.
Know it. You do. Fear it. You do. Hope you do not allow. To see it. To believe it. To open your heart to it. You refuse. Safer it is to hold on to what you have known. To accept the ending you have written. But the Force moves as it will. Not bound by our fears, not ruled by our expectations. You know the truth. You feel it. And yet, deny it. You do. Because to accept it is to hope again. And that, old friend, frightens you more than anything.
Hope is dangerous. It blinds us. It gives us false comfort when we need clarity. I've seen hope turn to ash too many times. It was hope that made me think I could save Anakin. Hope that told me I could be enough. And it was hope that allowed me to stand by while the Republic died. If we are to win this time, we cannot afford to hope. Not blindly.
Hope. It is all we have left. The darkness grows. The shadow deepens. The past is heavy. But hope still. It lingers. Without it, we are lost. Without it, all we fought for is nothing. And even in the darkest places, even in the coldest void, a single spark of hope can ignite the flames once more.
Luke must be ready. He must not hesitate. If there's even a moment of doubt, if he goes into that confrontation thinking he can save Vader, instead of stopping him, we risk everything. I've seen what hesitation costs. I won't let it happen again. Not to him.
A test his heart will face. And if strong, he is. The light he will restore. But tested, he will be. Tempted, he will be. Fear, doubt, loss, face them he must. And stand he must. Or fall, all will.
And if he fails, then all is lost. The rebellion, the hope of the Jedi, the future. Everything we fought for, everything we suffered for, it will all vanish. The Emperor will win, Vader will remain, and the galaxy will never know peace. That is why we cannot gamble on sentiment. We cannot afford to believe that Vader can come back. We have to be ready for the end.
Then fail, we all shall. If his path wavers, if the moment is lost, if fear wins, then all we have fought for, all we have sacrificed, will crumble. This, you know. This, I know. But faith, we must have. In him. In the Force. In the light that is never truly left. Difficult, this journey will be. Full of uncertainty. Full of risk. But lost, we are not. Not yet. Not while hope remains. Not while the Force still moves. And not while there are those willing to fight for it. Believe you must. Or lost you already are.
You cannot harm me, Jedi. You are nothing but a shade, a whisper in the void, clinging to an existence that has long since abandoned you. Whatever strength you once had, whatever purpose you once believed in, it is gone. You are nothing but an echo of a dead era, a hollow fragment of the past, and the past belongs to me.
You should have killed me properly when you had the chance, Sidious. But you didn't. You let your arrogance blind you. You thought your victory was absolute, that your power was unchallenged, that I was gone. But here I stand. The Jedi you tried to erase, the man you betrayed, the warrior you underestimated. You thought my death was the end. It wasn't. It was just the beginning. My beginning. And now I stand before you, not as a fallen Jedi, not as a forgotten name, but as a warning. A reckoning that even you, with all your power, cannot escape.
You are dead, Windu. Your order is dead, reduced to ashes, scattered to the winds of my dominion, forever erased from the history of this galaxy. Your temples burn, your teachings rot in forgotten ruins, and your followers cower in exile like rats. You stand before me as a remnant of something that no longer exists. You are nothing more than a relic, and relics have no place in my empire. The Jedi were weak. That is why they fell. And you were the first to fall by my hand.
You sound scared. I can hear it. I can feel it. It's there. Buried deep beneath that twisted smirk, beneath all your hollow words and your feigned amusement. You talk about power, about control, but there's something else in your voice now. Something you can't hide from me. Doubt. For the first time in decades, you doubt. Because you know what I know. You feel what I feel. Your time is running out. And for the first time, since you seized your throne, you are starting to fear.
I do not fear you. Fear is for the powerless. for those who cling to things beyond their reach. I am power. I am the culmination of 1,000 years of Sith rule, the architect of the greatest empire this galaxy has ever seen. You think your presence here, your pitiful attempt at haunting me, will make a difference? I have defied death itself. I have broken those who stood against me. I have shaped the destiny of the galaxy to my will. And you are nothing but a fading light, a dying ember in a fire that has long since burned out.
Then why do your hands shake, Emperor? Why does the mighty Darth Sidious, ruler of the Empire, slayer of the Jedi, master of the dark side, tremble? Is it rage? Number, is it hatred? Number, it's fear. Fear that you've spent years drowning out, suffocating with power, with lies, with domination. But it's still there, isn't it? It never left. You know what's coming. You know the dark side has no patience for weakness, no mercy for its own. And you know, deep down, that the very fate you sealed for so many others is creeping toward you.
You cannot stop me, Jedi. You could not stop me when you had breath in your lungs, when you wielded your blade and stood against me with all the strength you could summon. You failed then, and you will fail now. You speak of fate, of justice, of the light's return, but fate is what I decide. Justice is a lie told by the weak to justify their own failure. And the light has already lost. I rule now. I hold the chains of destiny. The boy, the rebellion, the whispers of hope. They are illusions, just as you are.
You thought you had won, didn't you? That your rise was final. That the Sith had finally wiped out the Jedi. That the darkness would reign forever, unchallenged. That the galaxy would kneel and hope would never rise again. But you were wrong. You may have struck us down. You may have scattered us. But we are not gone. We are not finished. And deep down, beneath all that arrogance, beneath all that rotting corruption you call strength, you know the truth. The light is still there. It always has been. You could never truly extinguish it, no matter how many you murdered, no matter how far you reached. And now, after all these years, that same light is growing again. And you fear it.
This is an illusion, a trick of the mind, a pathetic remnant of a time long since buried. The Force plays its games, but it does not fool me. It will not deceive me. I know what is real, and you are not. You are a shadow of something broken, a specter with no power, no purpose, no future. You are dust, and dust cannot stand against the storm that I am.
The Jedi never die, Sidious. You spent years hunting us, trying to erase us, thinking we'd fade away into history. But we don't fade. We don't rot in the shadows like the Sith, devouring ourselves in pursuit of power. We endure. We survive. And when the time is right, when the Force calls us back, we return. I have returned, and I am not alone.
I spent years hunting your kind, erasing your kind, not because I feared you, but because I could. You were nothing more than a disease that needed to be purged from the galaxy, a relic of an age that had long outlived its purpose. And now, you come crawling back, speaking of survival, of endurance, of returning. You think I did not anticipate this. You think I did not expect the weak to grasp at the remnants of the light, to try and cling to what has already been broken.
Go ahead. Strike me down. Pour every ounce of rage you have into it. Let the dark side flow through you. Unleash everything you are, everything you've built, and see what it does. See if it helps. See if your anger will silence the voices that haunt you. the visions that chase you, the truth that will not leave you. Strike me down if you think it will stop what's coming, if you think it will save you.
Strike you down. Do you think I am a fool, Windu? Do you think I am so blind, so predictable, that I would give you the satisfaction of martyrdom? I have already killed you once, Jedi. I have already watched you fall. Do not mistake my patience for hesitation. You speak of voices, of visions, of ghosts that whisper in the dark. I have heard them all. I have silenced them all. There is no truth, no prophecy, no fate that binds me. I am the master of fate. I decide what is to come, not the Force, not the Jedi, and certainly not a phantom of a broken past. Strike you down. Number, I would rather let you fade, let you linger, watching helplessly as I carve my will into the very fabric of the galaxy itself. If you believe your words hold power over me, then you are more foolish in death than you ever were in life.
I don't have to do anything, Sidious. I don't have to lift a hand against you, don't have to strike, don't have to fight. Because the Force has already decided your fate.
The Force has already decided my fate, has it? The Force bends to me. It obeys me. The Jedi clung to their delusions of balance, of destiny, and look where it brought them. Scattered, defeated, their bones rotting beneath the weight of my empire. You say I do not have to fight you? I have already won. I need not lift a finger to prove that. Your temples are ruins. Your order is dust. Your so-called warriors are nothing but hunted prey. Tell me, Windu, what does your great and powerful Force whisper to you now? What grand revelation does it offer to a spirit with no hands to wield a blade, no body to stand against me? You are the past. I am the future. You do not have to fight, because you have already lost.
You feel it, don't you? The end creeping closer, inch by inch, whispering in the very same darkness you thought would keep you safe. You may sit on your throne, you may command legions, you may wield the full power of the Sith, but you feel it. The walls are closing in, the darkness is breaking apart. You spent your life spreading fear, bending the galaxy to your will, making men and empires kneel. But now, you are the one who is afraid.
You speak of the end as though it is inevitable. You whisper of fate as though it were carved into stone. But let me tell you something, Jedi. Fate is not real. There is only power, only control. You say the walls are closing in? That the darkness is breaking apart? Fool. I am the darkness. I do not fear its collapse because there is nothing to collapse. My reach is endless, my power absolute. The galaxy kneels at my feet. Its people bow in worship or in terror, whichever I decide. You say I have spent my life spreading fear. No, Windu. I have spent my life teaching them obedience. Fear is the weapon of the weak. Control is the tool of the strong. You call me afraid? I am the one who is feared. I am the whisper that keeps senators awake at night, the shadow that drags rebels into the abyss. I am the hand that bends the Force to my will. You want to speak of endings? The only ending here is yours.
No. This is your fate. It was always your fate. No matter how far you ran, no matter how high you climbed, no matter how much power you stole, this moment was always coming for you. The darkness you built will consume you. The apprentice you shaped will betray you. And when your empire falls, when your reign is nothing but dust and ruin, you will know that the Jedi did not die. We waited. We watched. And now, we return.
Fate, destiny, the will of the Force. Such fragile words, spoken only by those too weak to carve their own path. You say my empire will crumble, that my apprentice will betray me. Is that what you saw in the Force, Windu? Tell me, did the Force warn you before my lightning burned through your bones? Did the Force save you as you fell from that window into the abyss? Did the Force shield the Jedi when my Order 66 ripped through their ranks like fire through dry leaves? No. Then what makes you believe it will save you now? You say I will fall, that my reign will be nothing but dust and ruin, that the Jedi have returned. The Jedi are dead. They can wait, they can watch, and they will continue to fade. I have erased their legacy from history, their temples from the stars, their very memory from existence. I have shaped the galaxy in my image, and you are powerless to stop it. You are nothing but a ghost, Windu, a remnant of an age that has already lost. And as you stand here, as you preach of fate, of justice, of my downfall, tell me, what can you do to stop it? Nothing.
This place, this cursed, burning wasteland, this is where it all fell apart, where the fire didn't just consume the land, it consumed you. This is where it happened, where everything that made you who you were was ripped away, where every belief, every lesson, every hope you ever had turned to ash. This is where the Jedi's greatest warrior, their chosen one, died. Not by an enemy's blade, not in a battle of heroes and villains, but by his own choices, by his own rage. This is where Anakin Skywalker was lost, and where Vader, this twisted reflection, took his place. This is the grave of the man you once were, and yet...
You shouldn't have come here, Jedi. You shouldn't have stepped onto this cursed world, this graveyard of who I was. You speak of redemption, of choices, as if you have any right to stand before me. You do not belong here. Nothing of the Jedi belongs here. This world is not for you. It is a world of death, of fire, of betrayal. It is a monument to me, to what I have become, to the path I have chosen. And you are nothing but a ghost of an era that no longer exists. Whatever you think you are here to do, whatever foolish notion brought you to me, leave it behind. Turn away before I remind you why I destroyed you once before.
And yet, here I am. A ghost, a memory, a presence you cannot destroy, no matter how much darkness you try to drown yourself in. You think you've buried the past, left it behind in the flames. But I'm still here, and so is the truth. You can run from it, try to burn it away, but no matter where you go, it will always find you.
A choice? You think I have a choice? You think I can simply walk away from what I have become? That I can undo what has already been done? You stand before me, preaching of second chances, of redemption, as if it were that simple. It is not. My path is carved in blood, in death, in the suffering of millions. I have shaped the galaxy through my will, through my rage. I have burned entire systems, slaughtered the innocent, crushed rebellions before they could begin. Do you truly believe that there is a path for me beyond this? That I can just turn away, discard the armor, cast aside the name Vader, and suddenly be someone else? That is not how the Force works. That is not how I work. There is no future for me outside of this. The only path before me is the one I have already chosen. There is no other way.
I came because you need to hear this. Not because I want to be here. Not because I expect anything from you. But because the Force, the galaxy, is giving you something it rarely gives. A choice. A real choice. Not the illusion of control that the Emperor feeds you. Not the path of anger and obedience he forces you down. But your choice. To turn away. To let go. To stop this before it's too late. You still have that choice. Whether you believe it or not. Whether you want it or not.
You know nothing. You claim to understand, to see what I have become. But you do not. You never could. You do not know the weight of my choices, the depths of my fall. You do not know what it means to lose everything, to watch everything you loved slip through your fingers and know that it was your own hands that let it happen. You see only what stands before you, the mask, the armor, the monster, but you do not see me. You do not understand what it took to get here. You do not understand what it means to have nothing left but the dark side.
I know more than you think. I know what it means to fall. To believe you're fighting for something right. Only to wake up one day and realize you're standing in the ruins of everything you swore to protect. I know what it is to lose yourself, to let anger, to let pain dictate your path. And I know what it is to convince yourself so completely that there's no way back, that there's nothing left of who you used to be, that you're too far gone. But you're wrong. That's the lie. That's the trick. That's how the dark side keeps you chained. That's how Sidious keeps you chained. And you let it.
You don't understand. You never could. You stand there, speaking as though you have seen what I have seen, as though you felt what I felt. But you did not. You did not stand where I stood. You did not hear her last words. You did not feel the life slip away from her, knowing it was your fault. You did not watch as everything you fought for, everything you sacrificed for, crumbled into nothing. You did not kneel before the dark side, knowing there was no other way, knowing there was no going back. You think you know suffering. You think you know loss. You do not. You could never. You will never.
I understand more than you realize. You think you're the only one who's lost something? The only one who's had to watch everything they built, everything they fought for, crumble into nothing in the blink of an eye? You think you're the only one who's felt betrayal? I was there when the Republic fell. I watched the corruption I spent my life fighting against swallow the galaxy whole. I felt the treachery of the Sith rip through the Force like a wound that will never heal. You think you know pain? You think you own it? I watched my brothers, my friends, the people I trusted, die. I felt the Jedi Order be torn apart, felt their screams through the Force, felt them begging for help that would never come. The betrayal you felt, the pain, the rage, I felt it too. The only difference between you and me, I didn't let it destroy me.
Do not compare yourself to me. Do not dare to stand before me and pretend that we are the same. We are not the same. You may have suffered, you may have lost, but you chose your path. You stood by your Jedi code, your rules, and you let yourself believe that made you righteous. I did what had to be done. I made the only choice that mattered. You fought for an order that was already dead. I fought for something greater, and if you had been stronger, if you had seen what I saw, maybe you would have done the same. But you didn't. You clung to your outdated beliefs, to your illusions of justice. That is why you fell. That is why the Jedi fell, and that is why I survived.
Then what should I compare you to, Vader? A shadow of a man, a weapon, a hollow enforcer, a broken knight who follows orders instead of questioning them? Is that all that's left? Because that's not what I remember. That's not the boy I once knew. That's not the Jedi who stood before the council, headstrong, reckless, but full of fire, full of purpose, full of the belief that he could change things for the better. A man who once wanted to save the galaxy, not rule it. A Jedi who swore to protect the weak, to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. That is who you were. That is who the Force still calls you to be. And no matter how much you try to drown it out, no matter how much Sidious whispers in your ear, it's still there.
That name means nothing to me. It belongs to a man who no longer exists. A man who was weak. A man who believed in false promises, in foolish dreams. A man who was betrayed by those he trusted most. That man is dead. And yet you keep whispering his name as if it will bring him back, as if it will shake something loose inside of me. It won't. You are speaking to Darth Vader, and Vader does not look back.
You tell yourself you're beyond redemption, that you have nothing left but the dark side, that there's no light in you, no mercy, no humanity left to save. But if that's true, then answer me this. Why are you still here? Why are you standing on this world, staring into the fire, listening to the words of a Jedi you killed? Why do you hesitate when you should have already tried to strike me down? Why did you let the boy live? Why, when you had every opportunity to do what the Sith have always done?
I spared him because he is useful. That is all. Nothing more. The boy has potential. That is undeniable. He is strong with the Force. His abilities will grow. He can be shaped, molded, forged into something powerful. That is why he is alive. Not because of mercy, not because of weakness, but because he has a purpose. A purpose I will decide. If he proves unworthy, if he resists, if he refuses to accept the truth, then he will fall, just as the Jedi before him.
Keep telling yourself that. Keep saying it over and over. Let the words echo in your mind like a mantra. Let it drown out the voices, drown out the truth. Say it enough times, and maybe, just maybe, you'll actually start to believe it.
You think you know me, Windu? You think you see through the mask, through the armor, through the years of blood and fire. You assume that my words are hollow, that I am grasping for something, anything, to justify what I have become. You are wrong. I do not tell myself anything. I do not need to. I do not seek comfort. I do not seek peace. There is no conflict within me. There is only purpose. You believe I am clinging to lies, repeating them over and over in the hopes they will become true. No, Jedi. The only one clinging to a lie here is you. You refuse to accept what I am. You refuse to see the truth that I have already embraced. You call me blind, but it is you who cannot see.
Yes, you can.
You think I can, that I still have that choice, that I can simply decide to undo all that I have done, that I can walk away from the path I have carved, from the power I have earned. No, Windu. The man you speak of no longer exists. He has been buried beneath years of war, of destruction, of death. Do you know what would remain if I abandoned this? Nothing. Because there is nothing left. There is no turning back. There is no redemption. There is no escape. There is only the dark side. There is only Vader.
I'm not wrong. And you know it.
You think you know, but you do not. You do not know what lies beneath this mask, beneath the rage, beneath the name. You do not know what is left. You claim certainty, claim that you see through me, but you see only what you want to see. You want to believe that there is still a part of me that longs for the past, for the life I once had. But you are wrong. I do not long for it. I do not want it, because I killed it. I chose to kill it. I let it die. There is nothing left to save.
You're afraid. Not of dying, not of suffering. You faced those things before. No, this fear is different. It's deeper, more dangerous. You're afraid of him. You're afraid of what he means. You're afraid of what is looking into his eyes makes you remember. Because when you see him, you don't just see a threat. You don't just see an enemy. You see Padme. You see the life you lost, the future you threw away. You see everything you were meant to be. And it terrifies you. Because deep down, beyond all of this, beneath the mask, beneath the rage, you know there's still something left in you. You know you can still change this. And you know that if you don't, you will destroy him too.
You speak as if you have uncovered some great truth, as if you have torn open my mind and seen what lies within. But you are mistaken. I do not fear him. I do not fear my son. He is nothing more than a pawn, a piece in the war that is to come. He is an obstacle to be conquered, a tool to be shaped. He means nothing.
It's not too late, Anakin. Not for you. Not for him. You don't have to be this. You don't have to serve him. You can stop this. You can end this. You can save him. But you have to decide. Not for the Emperor. Not for the Sith. Not for the Jedi. But for yourself.
Do not speak her name. Do not dare stand before me and invoke her. You do not have the right. You did not know her. You did not love her. You did not lose her. She is gone. She is dead. And I...
You can't run from this forever. You may turn away from me, but you can't turn away from him. And when the time comes, when you stand before your son again, when he reaches for you, what will you do?
No, it is too late. Too much has been done. Too much has been lost. Do you think I have not thought of this? Do you think I have not wondered? If I had turned back, if I had stopped, what would remain? You speak of saving my son, but I am not his father. Not anymore. He deserves better than what I have become, and better than what I could ever be. I will not run. I do not run. You speak as if you hold some great revelation over me, as if you are pulling open wounds I have not already endured. But I have endured. I have suffered more than you can imagine, and I have survived. My son may reach for me, but I will not fall. I will not break. He will either learn the truth or he will die. That is the way of the Sith. That is the way of the galaxy. That is the way of Vader. I am not afraid.
You're afraid of the answer.